Headed to the basement.
Good morning. We're going to get started this morning. I am going to do a roll call this morning. Going to call meeting to order. Do a roll call. Supervisor Gray.
Here.
Supervisor Middleton.
Present.
Supervisor Wilson.
Present.
Supervisor Gaines. Chancellor Clerk Randy Lewis.
Present.
Attorney Scott Slover.
Here.
County Administrator Angie King.
Present.
Deputy Clerk Paige Dean.
Present.
Okay, next on the agenda is invocation. Let's get an invocation by Mr. Bradford. Does the invocation?
Let us bow here. Most gracious and Heavenly Father, we thank you this morning, God, for allowing us to be here in our right minds, in our right place. And Father, we just ask right now to continue to look over us, oh God. Continue to bless us, keep us from hurt, trauma, danger, oh God. And Father, we just ask right now, Lord, you continue to bless our frontline workers, our nurses, our doctors. And we just pray for everyone, oh God, that may have been struggling or lost someone to COVID. Father, continue to give them comfort, oh God. And Father, we just ask, oh God, as a county, as a state, and as a country, to continue to bless our people, our land. And Father, we just pray for our students that may be in the classroom this morning. Father, continue to look over them, continue to protect them, oh God. And Father, we just ask right now, Lord God, that you give our leaders wisdom, strength, and courage, oh God, to lead your people, to make the right decisions, oh God. And Father, we just carefully give your name all honor, praise, and glory. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Okay, can you get the flag back here? Okay.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Next on the agenda is approval of the docket. Have everyone read the docket? Can I get a motion? Got a motion by Supervisor Middleton, second by Supervisor Gray. Any discussion?
Yes, Madam President.
Go ahead, Supervisor Gray.
I want to let it be known, 3101, the date is 8/10/2021. I'm voting against that item on the docket.
3101, you said?
Yes, ma'am.
All in favor, say aye. All opposed, nay. Ayes have the motion carried. Okay, next on the agenda is Jane Simmons with Colleen. Dr. James Simmons with Colleen.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Dr. Jane Hewlin Sims, and I'm pleased to be here representing Colleen today. Again, Mr. Richard Baker from the Weston campus is passing out a handout for you. Appreciate you allowing me to speak this morning to represent. I do want to introduce a few of our folks that have come with me today. I've already introduced Mr. Baker, who's Vice President of Business Affairs. I also have Dr. Sandra Barnes, who's the Natchez Campus Vice President. Mr. Kenny Goza, who slipped in just then, Community and Economic Development Coordinator, and some of our board members, Mr. Melton King, who is our new chairman of the board, Mr. Linwood Easterling, Mr. Roy Winkworth, and Mr. Chuck Gilbert. Appreciate them taking time out of their day to come and join us today. I'm pleased to tell you that I am beginning my 4th year as president of Colleen, and we are still going strong. Despite everything that we're all facing, we have been able to get some major things done despite COVID. I was very proud of how the Colleen family has met the challenges that we had with COVID-19. And I'll tell you that we are having as close to normal a schedule as we can beginning today. So right now, while we're here with you, we've got some smiling faces on our 3 campuses starting classes. So we're pretty excited about that. We would continue to covet your prayers as we start this year and hope that we can make it throughout the year without having to send anybody home. I told you before that I'm very proud that Adams County is part of the Co-Lin district. We want to make sure that Co-Lin is the choice for all Adams County high school graduates and all adult students. We need your help in spreading that word. Co-Lin needs to be their first choice. We love all universities, we love other sister community colleges, but we want Co-Lin to be the choice. Our tuition is still very low. We had to raise it slightly last year from $1,400 a semester to $1,500 a semester, but we're very, very affordable, and we want to make sure that our students, our parents, our school district personnel, and all citizens understand that it can be a significant cost savings for students who choose Co-Lin. That's not to mention the thousands of dollars that can be saved when you compare our tuition to university tuition. It's just a fact that your dollar goes farther at Co-Lin. As usual, we provide you that handout that includes some highlights of the college. You may recognize some of those students there in the Natchez Campus Hall of Fame, as well as some of the homecoming maids for the Natchez campus. We're also very proud to have completed our new diesel lab on the Natchez campus, which is going to be a wonderful complement to the diesel program. We see you, Mr. Gaines, up there. And we opened a new lineman program on the Weston campus, which is really taken off. So we're going to expect that thing is going to do really, really great. I also want to brag on our WIN Job Center over here in the Natchez area. It's really done a great job helping us promote jobs and growth in this area. So we're looking for it to do even more. Also on that handout, you'll see our Howell Garner building on the Natchez campus. It houses several of our programs, including the paramedic program and our respiratory care program. And in January, we're going to be returning the LPN program to the campus. So we're very excited about that. You can watch for a lot of exciting news with that program. I'd also like to tell you about our newest program on the Weston campus that we're planning, a new project, I would say. It's an EPAC, or an Educational Performing Arts and Athletics Center. So let me tell you what that means, EPAC. This facility will have a 2,000-seat Performing Arts Center and a 2,000-seat Coliseum under one roof. Pretty exciting for our part of the state. So stay tuned on the progress that we have for that facility. We also believe that's going to be an economic development opportunity for South Mississippi. In wrapping up, I do want to point you to the final page of your handout, which lists our Adams County contributions over a 10-year period. You will notice the maintenance fund, the buildings fund, and the overall total. We are so grateful for the funding that we receive from Adams County. Our budget at Co-Lin depends on the funds that we get from our local counties, and we believe that Co-Lin is a solid investment. We will continue to be an economic development partner with you as we work together to build up Adams County and our part of the state of Mississippi for our citizens. We look forward to strengthening that long-standing relationship. Please keep Co-Lin in mind in your plans for moving Natchez forward. We believe we are part of that. We want to make sure that we're all growing together. Thank you for your time and attention today. I do believe Co-Lin is special, and I love telling that story every opportunity that I get. And I would encourage you to follow us on social media if you do that sort of thing. We have Facebook accounts, Twitter, and Instagram. So there's a lot of exciting things happening on all three campuses, and we like to share that on our social media accounts. Now I'll be happy to answer any questions that you might have, or any of my team that's here.
Okay. Do anyone have any questions?
Madam President,
Go ahead, Supervisor.
I really don't have a question, but we did go up to Co-Lin, and when they had the, what was that? What was that y'all had, that, like, telling us what y'all was gonna do on the other campuses?
Yeah, we had a county leadership
Right.
luncheon for you guys.
And I was kind of excited, and Co-Lin always been good to me, because that's why I went to Co-Lin. And just keep the good work up, and whatever we can do to continue to support Co-Lin, we on board. Thank you, Madam President.
We appreciate that, and I will tell you, we're planning a new economic development summit in the next month or so we'll be sharing some information about that. We can't have enough people talking about South and Southwest Mississippi, so we want to share that word every chance we get. So I appreciate your comments.
Okay, Supervisor Gaines.
I would just like to say hello, and I do miss y'all. I do miss y'all. And I got that diesel lab after I'm gone, but I'm glad, and anything I can do to help Colleen progress, that, you know, y'all feel free to give me a call, because that was a wonderful, one of the best work families that I ever worked in with a Colleen family, and it is a great place to be, and I'm glad to see y'all expanding, and anything that I can do to help y'all, feel free to call on me at any time.
Appreciate that. We're certainly on the move, and we're here to help this area grow, so you can call on us for any workforce training that you may need. We're here.
Okay. And Dr. Sims, I just wanted to say, the county, they do millage, have a millage assigned every year for Colleen, so.
Yes, we appreciate that. We
Okay.
count on that, so
Okay.
thank you for that.
All right, thank you.
Thank y'all for coming today, and I appreciate all the board members. I know y'all work really hard. It's kind of a thankless job at times, but thank y'all for what you do.
They're very supportive, and we are very fortunate, and I appreciate the prayers for everybody starting school. It's not an easy thing, and we're trying to keep everybody safe, but we're gonna move this area forward. Okay?
I'd just like to say, Madam President, Colleen's a tremendous asset to our community, and we're very grateful to have y'all here. To all your board members who are here, thank you for coming. Excited for Mr. King and his new role, and anything I can do to help, I'm a phone call away.
We appreciate that.
Yes, ma'am.
Can I have one comment? Pardon if I don't stand up.
Yes, sir.
This is probably going to be my last board meeting. I've been appointed by the board, I guess, 7 times in total, once for 2 years, or maybe 6 times. Anyway, I'll have 27 years at the end of this year, which is my end time. I'm telling you that now because you're going to be hiring or bringing someone new on, and I would hope that you keep in mind the fact that some of your real good, loyal board members, and you see it when you're on the board, in all deference to education, okay? You don't just need a bunch of educators trying to run a school. I was in industry, he was in industry, he is in industry. He still is, I guess. No, you're not. But I think that you find those people to be more valuable board members for you all. I really do. And I'm going to miss doing that, but it's unfortunately due to my health necessary. So at the end of this year, when my term ends, my 5-year term, I will not be seeking another appointment, please.
All right. Well, we thank you,
Thank you
sir.
very much for all the good time over the last 20-some years.
No, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your
Yes, sir.
dedication.
Okay. All right, thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
Okay. All right, we're gonna move on. The next thing on the agenda is Dorothy Young and William Merchant with the Mississippi Department of Rehabilitation. Are they here?
Thank you.
Don't see them. Okay. Are they online?
Ed. Where did it go?
Okay. Ms. Dorothy Young and Ms. William Merchant, Mississippi Department of Rehabilitation, are they online? I don't know. We'll move on. Okay, the next we have on the agenda is Ahmad with Workforce. Is he online?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
sir.
All right, you can go ahead. How you doing this morning?
Excellent. I really appreciate the invitation, and a special thanks to Supervisor Gray and Supervisor Hutchins, and especially Ms. Corvette McNeils to extend the invitation to us. We're very happy to be here, obviously, in this difficult times in our country and communities suffering all over across the land. And I'm not sure how much time we have today. I have actually the president and CEO of our company, Mr. Charlie Zahid, also joined us to maybe have an in-depth presentation about what is the nature of our call today. But giving you a little background, I met Supervisor Gray and Supervisor Hutchins at the National Association of County Commissioners last month in Maryland. And we were fortunate to have a tiny little piece of time to share our vision and why we were there. We were there to kick off a national campaign for Upskill America to help communities across rural communities, underserved communities, unemployment, to jumpstart the economy through upskilling. But we, as a company, we are at our core, we are a technology company, and we build solutions for very high-tech environments. Earlier last year, we were selected and funded by U.S. Department of Defense, U.S. Air Force, to help their maintainers, their technicians, to access the data they need in order to fix a very complex engine. And we have, for the past 5 years, we've invested millions of dollars of our own funds to build this platform. And we recognize after COVID that we can repurpose our engine to help communities to build rapid web certification program for technicians in order to upskill, gain more technical knowledge, for bringing women into the workforce and helping communities to have this accelerate program, very, very specific skills that is reflective of the industries that are dominant in your county. So I would like to ask the question if we have ample amount of time or we need to really schedule a very specific time so that we can continue the meeting. Mr. Javid participated in order to kind of delve into how it actually works. We recognize just earlier last year that there's a void. There's a void between the vision of community leaders such as yourself and when you envision having a program where we can have different skills, helping people who are incarcerated, helping community members who are employed to gain a decent job, and community colleges are perfect natural partners. We give them access to our platform in order to do these classes online and remotely. So people who are not able to travel to a campus, they can access our solution in order to deploy this. So Adams County was one of the first ones to organize it in the state of Mississippi, so I just learned, I did my homework today, but I realized we can be one of the leading counties to help their communities to access better skills, better jobs, and reduce poverty in your community and be an example. So it is an opportunity in a way where we can employ proven technologies that we can employ today to really further your services to the community. How much time do we have?
Okay, Mr. Farmer, we usually do 3 minutes.
Is there a way that I can share my screen?
Yes.
I noticed
Go ahead.
Okay. If you could, it says disabled. If you allow me to share, very quickly, in a matter of a couple of minutes, I'll show you 2 technologies that were brought together for what to achieve this, what the fireman was talking about. Okay, perfect. I can share that. So what we're doing, what I'm showing is my screen, my computer screen. what we're doing is we're bringing technology such as augmented reality and 3D. As an example, I'm going to show you a pump that needs, for example, if you're teaching a class, you really can't bring everybody into a center to show them how the pump works. So what we have done is we've taken that pump and converted it to 3D, and along, if you see me, I'm putting a wearable on to show you how this works. So now, as you can see, I'm wearing a wearable, and as I'm turning my head, it's seeing my point of view. Now, imagine that I'm an instructor in a university or college in a lab. And imagine what I'm showing you is this pump. I'm actually standing in front of this pump. Inside of this pump, there are many other components that I cannot show you, I cannot teach from a remote location. However, combine this with our 3D technology. This is the same pump, as you can see. Now I can bring it over and I can start exploding the 3D, whereas with the real thing, I will not be able to do that. So now I can see what's inside of this pump. Now imagine the power of this if you're doing a remote hands-on training. And so from people that are sitting at their home or in rural areas that necessarily cannot get to the classes. Now they'll be able to actually have as close to a hands-on certification training as possible. So this is in a very quick 5 minutes demonstration is the combination of our 3D technology, our wearable glass, and putting it all into a frame for teaching and for class. With that, I want to stop because I know we don't have much time, but maybe at a different time we can spend some more time to go into more details.
Thank you, Mr. Baid. Exactly, this was kind of very compact presentation. So our goal is to develop a pilot where we can really identify the kind of technology skill sets needed in the community through the partnership with the industry within the community and the community colleges. So we are a support. We are not replacing the community college and vocational schools, but we actually complementing and working with them. They will administrate and certify the technicians. We are the tools and enablement software. So we want to have this close communication with the county in order to identify these things for the next few weeks and months. And we have a sense of urgency we're injecting into this because we think this pandemic stuff is going to continue and we need to build this capacity. Okay. Thank you very much for your time.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Famad, and I'll get back with you and direct you to some people that you may need to talk with, okay?
Excellent, very much, I appreciate that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We can drop out or should we still stay on?
You can stay on if you like.
Okay.
They can leave if they'd like to.
And you can leave if you like. He wants to stay. They gonna listen to me, I guess. Okay, next on the agenda is Alex Griffin with Court Alliance. Alex Griffin?
Madam President?
Yes, go ahead.
Madam President, he contacted me late after the agenda was sent out and said that he had a conflict and then he would call back to reschedule.
Okay, thank you. All right, I'm gonna go back to the agenda. I guess it's Ms. Dorothy Young and William Merchants with Rehabilitation.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Your Williams pulling up outside.
Okay, all right.
How y'all doing?
Good. All right.
Then they come up.
Sit there. Okay, you can go to the mic. Who else gonna speak?
Okay.
Okay.
All right, again, good morning, can everyone hear me?
Okay,
We're with the Mississippi.
kind of pull your mic up. It's working, right, Brandon?
Yes, ma'am. Make sure it's powered on, you see a light on it.
Testing. Hello?
Brandon, check the mic.
You can't hear with the mask.
Okay, why don't you take your mask off and see if that's it too.
All right, good morning. We're with the Mississippi Department of Rehab Services, and thank you all for this opportunity. Can you hear me?
We can hear you. Yes, go ahead.
I'm Dorothy Young, and I serve as the Director of the Office of Vocational Rehabilitation for the Blind. And we had the honor of being at the Supervisors Association conference that was held on the Mississippi Gulf Coast, and we did get an opportunity to meet some of the supervisors from this area. And we asked that we would come today to speak to you all about an employment opportunity for an individual that's blind that lives in your area. Our program, what it does, you probably have heard of vocational rehabilitation. We have an office here. It is located right over by the employment security, a brand new office that our agency built here. And we employ probably over 500 employees. The Office of Vocational Rehab for the Blind employ 102. And that whole goal of that program is for someone that is blind wanting to go to work. And we put them to work in communities that they live in. And so, for instance, we have a training program, and that training program prepares them to work. And that training program is what we call the Randolph Shepard program. And what that law states, it was passed in 1936, and it was passed federally, and we have a little Randolph Shepard Act, a code here in Mississippi, that allows a person that's blind to get the first opportunity to have vending and concession in city and county and federal buildings, right? And so we have, we're located in probably all of your major state offices like the Department of Transportation, Mississippi Employment Security, your Department of Human Services, and we have now started reaching out for the city and county buildings. Even the law states that for your prisons and your jails, that should be ran by someone that is blind. That's what your little Randolph Shepard states, and also your Randolph Shepard Act, the federal law. So we reach out today because we do have a person that lives in your county. He gets up every morning, he goes to work, and his name is Mr. Tyrone Dent. Mr. Tyrone Dent has a vending route that he was trained through our program by Mr. William Merchant, and he would come and tell you about the training program. But Tyrone gets up every morning, and he also went out and started securing other businesses. Like he went to your local hotels here, and he told them about his business of providing vending machines there and food service, and he was able to get those hotels here. So we are here today to see, can we not do what the law states to allow someone that's blind, that's working in your area. We pay our taxes back. We paid over $1 million back in state taxes. We have 37 blind businesses located all over the state. We have Keesler Air Force Base, the Camp Shelby, and Meridian Naval Base. That's all ran at cafeteria and vending by a person that's blind that lives in Mississippi. And so we're seeking, we already have the Holmes County, my father is a supervisor there, James Young. We have the Holmes County city and county buildings there. When we left your all conference, the supervisor conference, the county administrators that we met at that conference contacted us. And we've been now going out to the county offices, putting in different types of vending machines to help the county administrators also. So I'm going to turn it over to Mr. William Merchant, and he will tell you about the training program.
Good morning. As Ms. Young stated, our program has been around since 1936. And if anybody know anything about blindness, it's hard for them to get a job. But this program allowed a person like Mr. Dent to run his own business. And we train them. We have like I call it a small business training. And we teach them everything from A to Z on running a business. We have over 210 locations throughout the state of Mississippi. So we're not afraid to go to any county, any city to find jobs for these individuals. So whenever you all put your county buildings in our hand, you're in a good spot. I know you have Coke, you have Pepsi, you have Miss Lou, you have all of those. We love competition. because we're going to give you good service, because we know how we train these guys and girls to run their facilities. So the only thing we're asking is for an opportunity to service your buildings.
We do have, in your folder, you do have our proposal in there. It gives you a little bit of more overview of the program. I do want to say not only do we provide the self-employment for the Randolph Shepard program, if you all have anyone in your communities and those folks are in need of any type of surgery for their eyes, cataract surgery, any type of diabetic retinopathy surgery, as long as those individuals are working or trying to go to work, our agency can help them with that. I have a caseload here, I have a counselor here, and she manages probably over 100 and some clients that live in this area. And we pay for them to go to the doctor for those eye visits for treatment for that eye condition. The leading causes of blindness is cataracts, macular degeneration, diabetic retinopathy, and glaucoma. And so when those individuals are, and we have our caseload, I run about 1,800 statewide, because people start losing their vision later in life. You know, you start having problems later in life. People that with cataracts, they come to me, I said, when did you notice your cataract? They said, when I was driving and I couldn't see the light, the car lights on the road. So I do want to open that up for anyone that you know in your church, community, or even here. If they're needing any type of eye treatment to continue to work or help them find a job and they can't find it because of their eye treatment, please call our office for that also. And that's how Mr. Dick got into the program.
That's good to hear, you know, very interesting. I didn't even know that was going on.
Hearing aids also. A lot of people have hearing aids, and those hearing aids can cost anywhere from $5,000 to $8,000 to $10,000, right? Our Office of Vocational Rehab, that's the general program. Anyone that's having problems with their hearing aids, anyone that's having problems, we have I tell people the general program, they serve about 10,000 clients statewide, and that can range from anywhere from autism, intellectual disabilities, cancer, you name it. As long as those folks are trying to go back to work, and because of their disabilities impeding them, our office can help them. Vocational rehab side, or individuals that are blind and visually impaired. We spoke up in Carroll County, and the guy was like, hearing aids? We got 2 people here that need hearing aids, you know? So, and we were able to help them, right? So everybody met me outside and was running. They was like, hearing aids. I was like, what about the blind program? It's like, we'll get to that, but you know. But we're here to help city, county buildings, your jails, all of that. We have someone here that is able to work it. And we provide all the equipment. You all don't have to pay for anything. We provide all of the equipment. You tell us what type of foods that you want. And then Mr. Dent looks at his budget, he and his family, and that's what they go out and they purchase. You have anything to say, Mr. Dent? He's quiet.
Is it any age?
No, ma'am. We start off at 18. Okay. Now, but I will tell you this because, but one of the supervisors that I met, he had 2 young children and both were blind. Now, we couldn't help them with employment, but we could help them with other activities, such as summer camps for them. So the earlier that you know of a child having a vision impairment, refer them to us because there are other services that can help them along the way in school. I connected them with the School for the Blind so they can start getting a vision evaluation, help with getting them purchased for their special glasses that they need. Yeah, but 18 for employment.
Okay, great.
Yeah, I've had several clients that go to Voc Rehab, and it really helps them get over the hump and get employment, and it's just great. It's a great thing to have. So I've never done the blind, but that's great. So.
You all know Susan Hudson. Her husband is, I think he was the judge here.
Yes.
Susan Hudson trained me.
Yeah.
She was my supervisor for many years. So whenever
She's retired now, but she was great.
Oh yeah, she retired, but she taught me a lot.
That is great. It's good to hear. Now, anyone have any questions?
Madam President, I don't have no question, but I know Mr. Dent. I ain't had no idea that this was going on, and I think it's awesome. And any way possible that we could help Mr. Dent in his business, I think the Adams County Board of Supervisors is going to be on board. Thank you.
Yeah, that is something we'll definitely look into. Get our county administrator to look into it. Okay. Thank you. Any other questions? All right, thank you all for coming. All right. Next on the agenda is the city government business, if any. Don't have any.
Well, I know that we passed around the ILA, and I know that I certainly haven't had a chance to go over it and through it. So it's something that I think we need to all kind of get a chance to read before we, I can't only think of talk intelligently about it. Not that I talk intelligently anyway, but yeah, that's been passed out. Y'all should get a copy of it, and we can get together on it.
Maybe our next meeting.
Maybe by our next meeting.
Yeah.
If y'all have any, I'll try to read through it. If y'all have questions as well, don't, just let me know.
Okay. All right, we'll move on to departmental reports. Okay. Ms. Bailey, you have anything? Yes. Ms. Francis Bailey with purchasing.
Good morning. I have two items that I'd like for you all to please consider spreading across the minutes. The first item is going to be in regards to the circuit courtroom. We had, gotten approval to do the upgrade, and that was from Wizard Electronics and SNS Audio Security. And Wizard Electronics was the lowest and best bid. And I was wanting to know if you all would please consider spreading it across your minutes.
You heard the request of the purchasing clerk. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Got a motion by Supervisor Gaines. Can I get a second?
Second.
Got a second by Supervisor Gray. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed nay. The ayes have it, motion carried. And also, we will be reimbursed from the AOC, from the CARES Act fund.
Yes, that's correct.
Here.
All right, the next item I have is requesting that you all spread across your minutes a sole source vendor and purchase that I made for the E911 department. And the name of the vendor is Critical Response Group. And it was for the software program for the emergency dispatch department.
All right, you heard the request of the purchasing clerk. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Got a motion by Supervisor Gaines, second by Supervisor Gray. Any discussion?
Yeah, why is it sole source?
They're the only vendor that provides that software.
What's the software do?
It is the...
Sorry, Brad, I'm not questioning, I'm just trying to...
That's no problem. It's 911 I emergency software. It's SAAS solution, which provides integration with the rapid SOS system. It's cloud-based storage, and the service is a one-time fee, and they have yearly fees that will be rendered and, well, yearly services, but they have that one-time fee, and it was for that company.
Yeah, they're the only ones that do that integration?
Yeah, they're the only ones that do that.
What is the one-time fee?
$11,300.
All in favor say aye.
I have one more question.
Okay, go ahead.
Is it in their budget?
I got it.
To my knowledge, Ricky, I think the motion was just to find that it's a sole source purchase. Are we authorizing the actual purchase too? Is that in the motion?
What are you asking?
I'm sorry?
What are you asking us to do?
I was asking that you all spread it across your minutes as it being a sole source vendor.
Right, so we're not
I'm just being-
authorizing the purchase.
Unless it's in the budget, and it wouldn't be to whether it's in the budget or not. That's not being changed.
You're right,
This
sir.
is just a finding that we can't go to a default bidding.
Take this out my ear right here. I might need one of them hearing aids.
Me
You
too.
would be both.
You would be one of them.
How much is it? $11,300.
All in favor say aye. All opposed nay. The ayes have it, motion carried. You have anything else?
I have one more item.
Okay.
The last item is involving the vehicles for the sheriff's department. As you all know, we went through the process of establishing a reverse auction. It was listed on the The local newspaper was listed with the state's website along with our county website. We only had one participant. The participant that we had was Enterprise Vehicles, and they are proposing to get the county the 6 vehicles that they are getting for us, so it'll be 5 plus that additional one. And the final amount is the same amount they had already proposed before, which is $112,528. The problem we were having is that we're trying to get them to revise their contract to not include a down payment.
He said that he's gotta have a down payment.
Yeah. Okay.
His down payment's like 65,000 and the rest is yearly out.
Okay.
And he said the board previously approved that. Like, I don't think so. That's what I had an issue with, was having a down payment.
Right. I guess in order to get these vehicles, we probably need to go ahead and put a down payment before we lose them. You don't want to lose these vehicles and be back to square one.
Yeah, you'll have to amend the budget to increase
Yeah.
to 65,000.
Right.
Because we don't have that.
Okay. So we just.
So that's the last thing I wanted to bring to you.
We don't.
We got to amend it.
We amend the budget, so. Okay. All right, so, can I get a motion to amend the budget? For
So moved.
$65,000, got a motion by Supervisor Gray,
Second.
second by Supervisor Gaines. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. All opposed, nay. The ayes have it, motion carried.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Person clapping. Church
Okay. You're welcome, Sheriff. Okay, next, Ms. Nethia, you have any, Mr. Bradford, you have anything? Okay.
I got some.
Okay. All right, Ms. Peggy, do you have anything?
Yes, ma'am.
We got a routine
With tax,
Sir?
personal property bills.
okay, tax assessor?
I had 3 appeals, correct?
That's correct.
I had Denbury.
So let's start with Denbury. You came up with an agreement with Denbury?
Yes.
Both of y'all are?
They accepted what I had on the road.
Okay, so that's the email that you sent to me.
Right,
Okay. That's basic life expectancy and all that.
right.
Okay.
So they're cleared up.
So we need a motion to, I guess, accept the appeal because some of it's getting changed?
So moved.
You heard
Is
the
that correct?
request?
Right, some of it didn't change.
Okay, you heard the request of the tax assessor, Ms. Peggy. Can I get a motion? Got a motion by Supervisor Gray,
Second.
second by Supervisor Wilson. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. All opposed, nay. The ayes have it, motion carried.
I had an
Anything
appeal with K.E. Andrews for TDC on the 10% penalty.
So this is the one where the original form that Peggy / Larry had sent to TDC and to Davison was not returned. They went on the website of the Department of Revenue and sent that form back to the tax assessor's office. So we looked at the law on that. The Attorney General's opinions have stated that the tax assessor, in their sole discretion, can make a distinction as to what documents they need to do their assessment. And according to the tax assessor's office, unless I'm mistaken, they're saying that the originals that they send to the taxpayer has got to be returned to their office. If they find that that's a necessary document, then the Board of Supervisors is not allowed to change that. That's a definition that the tax assessor's office, according to the Attorney General's office. So that's the best law that we have on it, whether we, like it or not, according to the Attorney General, if that's their opinion, then that's what.
Okay.
So I've prepared an order based on that, because I talked to Peggy and her opinion has not changed, that document is necessary by the Department of Revenue. And so what I would, according to Peggy, unless she's changed her mind, then we would need a motion to deny that opinion, or that appeal.
I got a motion by Supervisor Gray, second by Supervisor Wilson. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
I feel like if we paid the milling out, that
I got a
should be
motion on the floor.
I'm sorry.
All in favor say aye. All opposed, nay. The ayes have it, motion carried. Ms. Page?
No, I just feel like if we put out the money to send it out, it needs to be returned to us, and that would be the original. Verizon.
If they don't like it, they can vote for new tax assessor if they live here, right?
Yeah, they can come down from Texas and vote. Verizon has an appeal for, things that were not deleted. They have never sent in a deletion list.
Okay, so we required paperwork from them, the Board of Supervisors did, I believe the same or very next day with this appeal. Under the law, if the Board of Supervisors, they can, and if they do require documents to be presented by the taxpayer to handle the appeal, and they refuse to provide those paperwork, then that's grounds for denying their appeal. So you're saying they never provided the paperwork that they needed. You did receive that email that had a bunch of their paperwork that they sent, and that didn't have any deletions on it?
Oh, did they send the page? The appeal page?
They sent it over to all of us because you were CC'd on the email.
I just received one, unfortunately, they couldn't find any paperwork.
Okay. There was an email the next day, they sent it almost the same time that I sent it. It was basically a recap of what they'd already sent.
Okay.
But that didn't show the deletions?
No.
Okay.
So we need a motion to deny.
I need a motion.
So moved.
Got a motion by Supervisor Wilson,
Second.
second by Supervisor Middleton. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. All opposed, nay. The ayes have it, motion carried.
We didn't have any other appeals outstanding?
They wanted me to change the life expectancy on some items, and I asked for a detailed list, and I never received that.
Okay. So that's all, that's Verizon. Yeah. Any other taxpayer objections that we had?
No, my book.
I think we had portfolio management, which we denied on that day.
That's real property.
Right. Well, just tax assessor's office, making sure we got everything.
So we're done.
I think that concludes our tax assessments for this year.
Okay,
Do you know how much the change was on Denbury?
I think on the assessed value, it went down about $40,000.
That's it?
That's it. Because they left they didn't want to go to the state and ask for a letter telling me to change the pipeline, so they left them on at 22 years.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Peggy. Mr. Larry Hughes, tax assessor.
Good morning, Madam President and Board of Supervisors. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to talk with you this morning.
Morning.
Really, the basic conclusion of the last time we was here, we were talking about tri-state as far as getting them started and when do we even get them started, because right now we do not want to fall further behind them than we are right now at this present time. We have to have the deeds and the
So he previously come to this board asking about tri-state. I guess I was thinking that was going to go on next year's budget as next year's company, that coming in. But you need them to go ahead and get started now, and that'd be an additional, how much money?
I think when we first started out, just a second.
I think it's like 44,000.
It was 44,000.
44,000. Yeah. But I know it was a question when we was going through budget, through the appropriations, whether we was gonna need, Mr. Peter Dale. The GIS, because I know he does the Porter, and, right?
Right, he does.
Okay.
He does.
Okay, and I think, Randy was supposed to check and see if, Tri-State, she was supposed to get with you, I'm thinking, and see if Tri-State does that too before we go on with appropriations on whether we should keep him or not. Could Tri-State do what he does, because that is needed.
Well, basically, we just kind of compared the two with GIS and cadastral, what we're trying to do. I do have Mr. Baldwin. Is he online like that?
I told him he was needed online.
I am.
He's online.
Yeah.
He's gonna kind of go over.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
He's gonna go over cadastral with us and kind of explain the basic difference between the two. and what they're able to do for the county.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. As far as the GIS part of it, the Tri-State is capable of handling any of the layers that could be provided. Now, we handle the tax mapping part of it, which, as y'all know, the GIS strictly is just a geological information system. It has layers of information, and each one of those layers can be hosted by Tri-State. I think right now there's a company, DCP or someone that's like that is hosting your GIS information at this time. Tri-State will be able to enter all the data for the actual mapping end of it. And the difference, I know there's some discussion between the actual mapping and what GIS is. The actual mapping is part of, will be made part of the GIS. Astral really is just the annotations on the map. It gives you sections, it gives you subdivisions, blocks, lots. It's just making those annotations on the map so the field appraiser can use these for to help him in his duties as the appraiser. Basically is what the actual map is. And then of course your GIS then is all the layers of this information put on there. I'm not familiar with at this point in time what other layers are involved in your GIS portal, whether the city is in on some of that, as far as like a layer of fire hydrants, addressing. No, I'm not familiar enough to know exactly what all included, but Tri-State can host any of that information that you need to do. I hope I'm making myself clear. Is there any questions? Anybody got any questions specific to that?
So under that contract, you're gonna cover everything, everything that his office needs?
That's correct.
Yeah. Under the maintenance contract, we will cover all the, as far as picking up all the deeds, reading the deeds, plotting the deeds, name changes, splits, and then we also have the mechanisms now in place, with y'all's help, to transfer that information back into his appraisal system, into the AS400. So it's a seamless operation, and it worked really well. 48 counties that we do maintenance for.
Does it provide like a map that people can, like the public can look at and kind of see what's assessed and look on the tax maps online like you can with the GIS?
Yeah, we can go either way there. I mean, we've got websites for counties that we host, and we put all the information out there. Or, if you wanted to keep the GIS service that you got, we can provide the shape files to Mr. Dale, put those out there. So that's just an option, either way y'all want to go with that. We would love to have a website. It's very neat. We've got, I think, websites in 40-something counties. And it carries all the land roll information where you click on a parcel and all the land roll information about that parcel will go.
Is there any additional for that? Is there any additional cost for that?
No.
There is, has Monica give you a price for the website?
No. The only thing I have on the additional part is going to be working with the chancery, that was on the D interface, the map interface,
right.
The map changing. After we pay that additional cost, then there will be no more fee in that. once we make a one-time fee, we did talk about
I
that.
think she give you a price or proposal for the yearly maintenance that would include all that. Now, the yearly maintenance will not include the web service. We can give you a price, on the web service itself.
In terms of the monthly, I think it's as far as a maintenance fee, it is $100 for as a maintenance fee. And all that's based on you have any kind of problems or you need a little additional information, then there is a $100 fee that we normally charge, Delta charge every year, which comes to a total of $1,200.
Yeah, I think that's Delta maintenance,
That's Delta
but
maintenance.
Tri-State,
Okay.
for they well, to
Right.
put that
Right.
on that is a difference. So, that's what I was asking, was any additional cost to put that on the web page?
Not that.
And he's saying that it is.
Yes, for us to host the website, there would be a different charge, a separate charge on the website itself.
Okay.
Well,
could you get us a cost on that?
I sure will.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll look back at this. We'll take this under advisement, look back at it.
Okay.
Madam President,
Go ahead, Supervisor Greg.
number one thing I think we need to figure out, are we duplicating services?
See, that's what we're trying to figure out now. That we want to see what his price would be to do the porter by putting it on the web page, and then we could determine what the cost would be for Tri-State to do this service and what GIS is doing it for. Okay.
That's fine.
All right.
Do we need to get back with you on that?
Yes.
You need to conduct another, because you got GIS and you got Tri-State, and obviously Texas Assessor Hughes needs some activity on this. Do we need to have another meeting and figure out what to do? Because he's asking for a budget meeting.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
We need to get moving as soon as possible because we're really kind of getting behind.
Well, we're gonna have to get moving.
Yeah. My understanding is that the deeds aren't getting inputted in now.
They're just sitting there. They ain't doing
Right.
it. They're just, that's 21 deeds. They're just sitting there right now. See, main thing with Tri-State, they are more of a company that's just gonna come in and do the work. Right now, we only have one individual person that's kind of do countless work.
Okay.
So that's what we're trying to do.
County administrator.
The question is, who used to put them in?
Who used
Yeah,
Peter Dale.
okay. The deeds.
Yes.
Peter Dale used to put them in and stop them in?
What are you saying?
I'm asking.
Yeah.
That's what I'm asking
They're not
too.
being entered.
No.
And I know at some point they had
No.
they were entered, so who used to enter them?
Peter Dale. GIS system?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So any reason he's not doing it now?
I think he's basically trying to find out what we're going to do with Tri-State. So right now, we're at a standstill.
Okay, that's not good. But he should be carrying on his duties as
So we're at a
GIS
standstill.
person.
Right now, we don't move, we're gonna be further behind.
Okay.
So what do we need to do to move forward?
Give them $40-something thousand with Tri-State, that's what it sounds like.
Well, Tri-State came in, they did a tremendous job
Right.
when we first started out. They did, getting us, I guess you could say eligible.
Yeah.
Right.
They did a good job as far as bringing us up to par.
So Peter used to input the deeds into GIS and to the AS 400?
The AS 400?
Who was doing that?
Okay.
So that's what we probably just need to figure out.
See if we can get him at the end of this meeting and he stay around. And then.
No, we can see it for next meeting.
Yes.
Yes.
Right. Mr. Hughes,
Yes,
let us do this. Let us, put you on the end of this meeting so we can see if we can get Mr. Peter Dale here and also go over it with him also while he's here. Can you all stay around for a minute?
We can.
Okay, sounds great.
All right, thank you.
See if someone can get Peter Dale online. All right. Mr. Bradford? Emergency management.
Good morning, board. How's everybody? Everybody on the phone?
Good morning.
Got a couple things. First of all, dealing with COVID, I know last board meeting, a gentleman came in about some air purifiers for the county buildings and stuff like that. Had the board had a chance to look at that, those recommendations, where we at on those, and help out, put it in our county buildings?
No one had a chance to look at it.
You talking about the gentleman that was here last meeting?
For the electric light.
Yeah, like I said, the board considered that's something we need to do for our county also. I know we had our department head meetings, a lot of those, they wanted something similar to that for the area, so I just want to see how the board want to go.
So do we have a count on how many?
I think he was gonna put them in all the county buildings.
So.
What cost?
Yeah.
No, I think he did it, yeah, I didn't see it.
He gave us a cost on that.
Yeah.
Is it gonna be one in each office or just the building? It'll be one in each office, right?
I think they're gonna determine, what the board, once y'all, agree to them, they're gonna come out and do assessment, probably do a journey. Because not all the buildings may not need it. I know like a lot of older buildings, they can't have the health filters in them. They probably be your main priority ones.
Is that a reimbursable expense through CARES or anything?
Right now, I'm gonna try to see, but I do know, like I said, there may be something we can pay for out the money they already gave us. On that.
We need to know that.
What money you talking about?
That's what I'm saying, we don't have no more CARES Act money.
No, I'm saying every county should have received COVID money.
That money is gone.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So if in any event we don't, they're gonna be a cost that the county got to put up.
Yeah, the county administrator, that money is gone, the CARES Act money, that was used up.
The American Recovery Act money is we're waiting for the final
Yeah.
opinion to be
September
issued.
the 8th, saying what we can spend it on.
Yeah,
So we don't know until then.
But we
That's
are
what I'm
working
saying,
it,
yeah.
so that's
But I
nice.
don't think, yeah, it ain't gonna be reimbursed no more with that. So that's just something the county gonna have to put. You can go ahead and do it, and we can probably set it up later. If they say, hey, for all protective measures that the county's doing, that's something we reimburse. But either way, we want to spend the money up front.
Do we want to go ahead and get a quote so if we do get recommendations?
Okay, let's get a quote, let's see how many we need, in the departments, and then let's get a quote on that amount.
So I just need the board, the guy come through me and recommend that we talk with him and try to get it. And I come back to the board.
Yes.
Okay, so give me a motion to make the.
Can we just meet, can we meet before we come to the board?
Huh?
Can me and you meet before we come to the board?
Yeah, we can. Yeah. I was gonna do that anyway.
Okay.
So, yeah.
We don't need a motion for that, Mr. Brown.
Go ahead.
We just go ahead and take care of that.
All right. The next only thing,
And Brad, excuse me, I just would like to say, whenever he gives that report, I'd like it broken down.
yeah.
Every office.
Yeah, we
Square
don't have a
footage.
statement, we don't have a statement of work in there, so you guys will see where's what going and stuff like that.
Okay.
Randy
Next
can
thing,
take her own office.
what's that? Looking at our COVID numbers, right now in the county, we got 33% of the population fully vaccinated, 33%. We have 41% of the county residents that has at least one shot. So to break that down as far as the numbers, we're looking at 12,909 people that have at least received one dose. That's your fully vaccinated that have received at least one dose. And you're looking at only 10,175 people that have been fully vaccinated in the county. So that's how your numbers appreciate from 33 to 41. Hopefully people that get the first shot go back and take the second shot. A lot of times people get the one shot and I'm going back to take the second shot. So those numbers are highly dependent on what, for our percentages as in a whole. From January up until now, we've had 35 deaths. This month alone, middle of the month, we have 10 deaths in the county. Just for August, 10. So I got the report from Mr. James Lee.
Do you know how many people had been vaccinated
From
out of that 10? Or have not been vaccinated?
This is my PR, she got the information.
Good morning. To answer that question, only according to Mr. Lee, he said only one has been fully vaccinated.
And also it's kind of hard because the state health department is changing the way they give us information that's coming from the top. I can't, express the importance of giving the county information that allows me to give you guys recommendations and stuff like that. They're about, so they're giving 2 weeks of increments numbers at a time, which is kind of hard to track. So with that being said, I'm asking the board, we're going to go ahead and activate our EOC where we can try to track the numbers, bring my staff in and track the numbers and really focus on what we really have here on ground. Because right now, in the 2 weeks from July the 20th to August the 2nd, Adams County reported 211 cases, outbreaks in the county. That's in 2 weeks. So right now, we need to try to get my staff back in the EOC and really break the numbers and see what our positivity rate is weekly and stuff like that. Especially because we know school has started, a lot of kids are moving around and stuff like that. We know our numbers going to be going up. So I really want to get in my EOC and bring all my subject matter experts in so we can really focus on what we need to do on that. With all being said, I'm here this morning to ask the board, let's request do a countywide mask requirement for indoors, for areas, public areas that you can't socially distance. It's not for outside, nothing like that. It's just for small indoor gatherings that people cannot socially distance that we do the mask requirement. It's not a mandate, just a requirement to put it on a lot of businesses for them to enforce it and stuff like that.
Okay, and you're asking for this here because that's the only way you can give out your PPP is that you have.
Right, yeah. For the EOC, yeah, the county has to, there has to be a requirement or a mandate in place for me to order any mask, hand sanitizer stuff for our community and stuff like that. Without that, we can't get it from the state. So the requirement is just, it's not a mandate. You just require businesses to, police up behind themselves and stuff like that. In the event they come and say, hey, Brad, we need some, I got to be legally to be able to give them supply from the county.
So this just opens the door for you to be able to hand out sanitizer and masks.
Right.
And at no expense to the county.
The important distinction is there's no criminal penalty to do it. Correct, Brad?
Right, yeah, a mandate is different from requirement.
Okay.
Just like, you require them to have it, but if you require them to do it, they got to have supplies. So that allowed me legally to give them
the supplies.
Right.
Okay.
If they have
I was just backlasting what he was saying. So it's basically up to the businesses. He's putting it in the hands of the businesses, but to be able to do it. But you are actually doing this to be able to hand out masks, folks be able to hand out sanitizer to help. And so it ain't nothing, no enforcement behind the counter. It's just you to be able to legally hand out your mask and sanitizer and legally track it to keep you out of trouble.
Right.
Okay. All right.
Madam President, I do understand, Brad, I understand what you're trying to do, but from months ago, what I stated was, I do not feel that it is the business's responsibility to police this, and I think it puts them in a weird position, and I just don't like it, so that's where I'm at.
No, it's not a police. What I'm saying is, as a business owner, you can make your own determination. That has nothing to do with it. Our requirement is, let's say, if you get in the buy and say, hey, Brad, I need this.
I understand.
Right.
But what I'm saying is, we did say police twice, as businesses, that's what you said, so.
What I mean by, as a business owner.
It's their option.
Right.
Not their job.
Yeah, it's not fair. Right. See, I've had business call me about that, and I like, that's your business, do what you want to do. We have no legal authority on that. So, but that's what I'm saying.
I just want to clarify.
Yeah.
And that's basically what we're trying to do is clarify, because I understand both ways of trying to stop the spread of it, and there's a lot of businesses that was hurt behind it. Some business went out of business behind it. So that's what we want to make sure, and that it's just for you to be able to help the people, not police the businesses and stuff like that. That's what
Right.
You heard the request.
So move.
Got a motion by Supervisor Gray. Second by Supervisor Gaines, any discussion?
Madam President.
Go ahead, Supervisor Gray.
You can twist it and turn it and do whatever you want to do it. At the end of the day, this is the right thing to do for the people that live in this community. We try all we can do to keep them safe. This is a different attack on our kids, and kids 12 and under cannot be vaccinated. So we trying to protect everybody. I understand people don't want to wear masks. And it's not to me, we got a fight going on all over the country. Who want to wear masks, who don't want to wear masks, they fighting. Who vaccinated, who don't have the vaccination, they fighting. At the end of the day, it's all about saving lives. And the only way we're going to do that, we got to be proactive and stop reacting to all the people catching COVID and the people dying in our community. We actually had, how many died?
35.
And we up here discussing this like this, and we got people dying? Man, Lord have mercy.
I got one thing.
Go ahead, Supervisor.
7,700 Mississippians have died from COVID. 0 from the vaccine. So I still don't understand why people are holding off on getting vaccinated.
Yes.
But, yeah, we do need to protect the population any way we can. This will help. Certainly we can get sanitizer out and masks to people that want it or need it.
Yeah.
Let me say this, I spoke with Reverend Lee because he's keeping me informed on the deaths of the COVID. And that's why I asked the question to you, how many have been vaccinated and how many hasn't. I am strongly pushing the vaccination because it's saving our lives. She said there was 1 out of 10 that had been vaccinated. That tells you the vaccine is working. If we only had 1, and usually when you have someone, I was looking at the news this morning, when you have someone that dies that has been vaccinated, it's because they have, their immune system cannot even fight the vaccination because of the fact they have illness that the vaccine is not going to even protect. So my thing is the vaccination is protecting those who does not have all those illness from dying. So I am strongly pushing that vaccination that everybody needs to get the vaccine. Because it tells you it works. 1 out of 10, that shows you that it's working.
Madam President.
Go ahead, Supervisor. Okay.
Now, I would just also kind of piggyback on what President Hutchins said. If you look at last year when COVID first hit, COVID numbers was going through the roof. Masks actually slowed it down, but masks didn't prevent it. When the COVID numbers plummeted is when people got vaccinated. Am I right or wrong?
You talk far as what?
When the COVID was on the rise last time, masks helped slow it down, but it didn't stop it. It didn't make the numbers plummet. When you start getting people vaccinated, that's when your numbers went down. Is that correct or not?
There's some truth to that. Because there's a lot of data that we don't understand with that. The reason for that is because when it first came out.
Someone mute your phone, please.
Yeah, if you're not speaking, please mute your phone.
Yeah, when it first came out, everybody didn't get a grasp of it, a lot of signs, a lot of doctors that was going. So the panic, the fear was there, so people started.
You are muted. You can mute or unmute yourself.
Once the vaccination rolled out, like you were saying, the intent was that everybody was going to do the right thing, get vaccinated to try to suppress the numbers. But what happened was a lot of people didn't get vaccinated. Then another variant came, so the people that was vaccinated said, if we're going to get vaccinated, we're going to have to wear a mask. But we see a lot of people that's vaccinated, you still can't catch it and spread it. So that's where we at on that. That's why they recommend everybody wear the mask to try to slow it down and get enough people get the herd immunity. So that's what we never reached that herd immunity. So
and that was my point, still my point. We still need more people vaccinated. That's what you're saying, herd immunity, is that the same thing? Right. So you're saying herd immunity, that was my point exactly. We still need to push for more people to be vaccinated than that because, we look at that data, try to look at data as much as we can, and it's truly out there. I mean, you do have a
few cases with people getting it, that has been vaccinated, but as of right now, the data says that more people, the Delta variant are attacking more people, unvaccinated people, and they're dying from it than vaccinated people.
Right.
Yeah, and so that's the point that I was making, but I yield the floor.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
No, I still have
You got,
something.
still got
Yes,
some,
ma'am.
okay, I'm sorry.
We need to realize that, you know, we was first on board to go get our shots. And we set the example. But getting your shot helped a whole lot, but you still can get the virus. But by you having your shot, it's not gonna affect you like it would affect somebody that didn't get the shot. So you could go get your shot, still get the virus, and go give it to somebody else that hadn't had the shot, and they're gonna have a bad effect. But my problem is this: just because we got the shot, don't give us the right to have super spreaders in our community. Everywhere you look, people having big parties, people going doing this, people going doing that, and we okay with that. And people dying behind it. And we'll say, well, they should have went and got the shot. Well, we shouldn't be having no super spreaders during a time like this. Man, people need to have common sense on this. That concludes my report.
Any more? All in favor, say aye. All opposed, nay. The ayes have the motion carried.
That's all I have for
That's all,
today.
yes. That's on the requirements.
Okay.
Okay. Mr. Jason with County Extension.
Madam President, I'm sorry, I had something for Brad, bring it on him.
Okay.
We've got that contract with the limb and leaner removal that's been going on. I think there's been some confusion. Meg Freeman in the past has been the designated person. I've asked her if she would continue to be on that because it's not a good time to put something new on Angie by any stretch in the middle of a budget time. Also, the road department's been working closely with them to get it done. There were a couple of things that Meg asked. Number one, she wanted an alternative person. She did bring up your name, Brad, working with getting recovery from MEMA. You might have, don't spill it on me. You might have to join in some phone calls and kind of help do all that and help make sure that if the requests for MEMA are proper and so forth, which is stuff that I think you're familiar with. The other thing, a lot of what Brad, if y'all make him the alternative and Meg, which I think we should at least put Meg on there and have Brad as the alternative, they're going to be relying on a lot of information that the consultant that we hired to do this, and if that gets reimbursed or not, it's really going to be based on the correctness of what the consultant does and so forth. And Meg was concerned that she's relying on somebody else's information. If it comes back, that the county's going to come back for her, which I didn't know of any legal authority for us to do that anyway, which I told her. I've also told the company that they need to indemnify the two MEMA and FEMA people. So I think that, you know, that should satisfy her little concerns, and I can understand, I'm saying little isn't her, I can understand why she would not want to be responsible for somebody else's mistake, certainly. So unless she knowingly, or Brad knowingly falsifies information, they wouldn't have any problem or liability on it. It's up to the consultant to do it. And some of the stuff may not get reimbursed. That again falls back on the consultant and how well they do. So that, if Brad's willing to help out with that, then I would ask the board to redesignate Meg and Brad as the alternative, if that's okay with the board.
You heard the request of the attorney. Got a motion by Supervisor Gray.
On that, Scott, we do have an
Hold
alternative.
on, let me get a second.
Second.
Got a second by Supervisor Gaines. Any discussion? Go ahead, Brad.
Got no discussion.
Yeah, on that, we do have, that's my administrative assistant, Bree. Yeah, they normally kind of keep me out of it because I have a lot of other stuff to do, so And, you know, that's why Bree is identified as the alternate.
Okay.
So Bree can help Meg out with that from our office.
Okay.
Yeah, she's already been identified. Yeah, but what Meg is on her thing is, like I said, when you hire a consultant, MEMA, they only deal with one person from the county, because that person is responsible for putting that information in and is held liable for what you put in. So I can see her concern is if somebody from the outside coming in trying to make money, as I say, cooking books, and she's the last one to sign off on that, she can get in trouble.
Yeah.
So that's her concern. I'm concerned about that too. That's why I didn't say nothing. I don't want to get in it because I know what these consultants do. That's their job to make money. And the thing is, a lot of counties got to be careful when you do that, because that's why they ask for one person that MEMA talks to. So Meg does the debris, so she's familiar with what they're putting this stuff do. So when you got an outside agency coming in bringing stuff in, they'll try to push the numbers up illegally. So she has some concerns there about that. And plus, they have a new system now that you have to log in, so they manage it. When you put that information in under your user ID, they know who's doing it. So she had to pretty much give them access to her account, which I wouldn't do either. So that's why I was saying they need to work hand in hand with Meg and putting this stuff in and making sure it's right before we send it up, and things of that nature. So I can get Bree to help her out with that. Like I said, she got the contact information from the lady. So, and what I do is I go in and I try to help advise them and guide them what we need to do on that.
Thank you. Okay. All in favor say aye. Do you have?
Well, we
have
do it,
something?
I just, FEMA, meaning they gotta come assess the damage too before this project gets started, the way I understand it too.
So hopefully getting Meg and Bree back in on this will help the logistics on it. It has been a disaster, because I've never been involved in any of it, and I'm getting hammered on it and delayed or whatever, and I know Angie's in the middle of trying to get her budget on time, and that,
And like you said, just don't want to sign any names or something that's not right.
I totally understand that, and I wish we'd
Like
had
I
that
said,
conversation on that,
Okay.
on the front end, but anyway, it is what it is.
Okay.
Any other discussion? All in favor say aye. All opposed nay. The ayes have it, motion carried. Go ahead.
Good morning, board.
Good
I
morning.
only have one thing this morning. My office hosted the State 4-H Association meeting on August 4th through the 6th here in Natchez. We held 35 to 40 agents from Mississippi. That first time they've been here since 2007. So we were able to, they did a lot of tours in Natchez, the Staten Hall, and some other businesses they aided and tours. So they had a good time. They actually wanted to come next year, but usually they have a conference like that. They have to rotate through the states, so they did enjoy themselves. They most of my coworkers love coming to Natchez. So anytime they can find a reason to come to Natchez, they always trying to do so. But they tried to get it not next year, maybe 2023 to come back and for the Natchez 4-H conference. But they did said Natchez is very beautiful and said all y'all doing a good job on keeping the county and the city up with the beautification project, different thing y'all doing in the county. So.
All right, that's good to hear. Thank you.
All right.
Anybody have anything? Thank you so much.
Great.
All right, keep up the good work.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Jason.
Welcome.
Okay, next, we need Mr. Ford with IMS. Well, I get Darryl behind, I can't see him back there. You go ahead, Mr. Ford. You go ahead, Mr. Ford, I'll get him next.
I'll be real quick. I'm just giving an update. On last week, we did submit the PRBR project for Road Bridge. We're finalizing the program form for figuring road bridge replacement, as well as the striping project for Foster Mountain Plan and Pine Ridge. We are updating the boundary survey and the site plan for the splash pad grant. And then we are looking at Myrtle Road as a way of slowing the traffic down. Having some residents complaining about speeding in the area, so we're looking at some ways to try to slow the traffic down in that area. And then just be mindful about the potential infrastructure bill that's gonna get passed soon, some projects that we may want to include if we get, depending on the funding that we get. And that's pretty much all the update that I have.
Okay.
And I have not received anything from 26 Clear View.
Yeah, I get, yeah, that's two things. I'm looking for the information because I get a text every week or twice a week. I need that information. And I know we said something about getting with state aid about the striping of that, the 3 road we talked about, steam plant and,
You told me Foster Mountain, Steam Plant, and Pine Ridge.
and Pine Ridge Road.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, where we at on that?
We're
the
working
striping?
on those program forms. Once we get those completed, we'll come back to you all, get them approved, state aid approved, and then we'll do the drawings for it.
Yeah, I'm just trying to make sure. You think we're gonna get it in before winter, before they start paying?
Yes, of course.
I need, that's some of the things I've been fighting for a couple of years.
Yes.
And I mean, it's much needed.
Yes.
It's much needed. And so what's the hold up on Cleopas High School? Who we looking at? NRCS? Are we waiting on NRCS on there?
NRCS.
Yeah, we're working on NRCS for the application process to be completed. Like I said, we went out there when we started, we did a preliminary design and everything. Then we come to find out the project had not been allocated or funded yet, and so we couldn't move forward with it. And then we sent numerous emails, made numerous phone calls to NRCS, and we have not received anything back from them. The last correspondence we got back from them said that they were having an influx of application due to the weather, and that they did not know exactly when they could give us an update on that application.
Okay, so you said, they say it has not been funded, or it has been funded?
So last thing we had, we're supposed to be waiting on the application to get the signature from I guess from the county manager.
Yeah, that's what I thought, it had been funded, yes.
Well,
okay. They just
not completely funded, because he has different.
There's a final step with it, the application has to be signed.
Yeah.
Contract is not contracted out.
It's not contracted to him.
Okay.
Yeah, we
So
had.
that means that the funds have not necessarily been completely obligated for the project.
Okay.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, that's they gave us some, but they went back and redesigned, so it hadn't not actually been, the last step hadn't been done, full of water to them.
Okay, all right. Okay, and on that splash pad, I think we're just waiting on some information, some signatures on the splash pad for LaGrange. We're waiting on a signature for a piece of property.
Making sure we have a form that the board can approve. We're just waiting on a form.
What's
that the
that,
board can
what's
approve.
splash pad?
For, on our wildlife and fishery grant, for the splash pad.
We
For LaGrange.
agreed to put it in the grant?
Yes, we did.
I must wasn't at that meeting.
Yes, you are. You was at the meeting.
I know you brought it up, but I ain't think this board agreed that the splash pad need to go to LaGrange.
We said it was going to LaGrange.
That's what y'all say? I don't mean to put y'all on spot, but I didn't want to remember. I don't remember a whole lot.
I hate to be in the middle of
The only thing I heard about it was, it was on some property that we had to figure out. The guy wanted to donate some property, and we was figuring out all that, but I ain't know the final results was we was gonna put it in the Grange. I ain't hear that part.
Yeah, that was the final result. That was, he was donating the property for the splash pad.
I understand that part.
Yeah. Okay. All right, that's what we're waiting on. Thank you so much.
Madam President, I've got two
Go ahead.
things while Mr. Ford's up there. After our last meeting, I did speak with MDOT, me and Mr. Dollar did, and I think you told me your current designation with the LPA was up to date, correct?
Yes.
So I think we're ready to move forward on that MOA on Burke Road. And if I'm not mistaken, is kickoff meeting what we need to do next?
Yes, once we make a selection here, then we need to have a kickoff meeting.
So that just had to be you all.
Do we take any action to select IMS as?
I'll make a motion if you need.
Yeah, please do.
Make a motion to let IMS handle the MOA with the Burke Road flap grant.
Got a motion by Supervisor Middleton. Can you get a second?
Second.
Second by Supervisor Gray. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. All opposed nay. The ayes have it, motion carried. Anything else?
Yes, I got one more thing for you. I had brought up in the past some signage on Lower River Road. Are we still waiting?
Wait, I got couple things I was gonna ask him after the meeting, that's one of them.
That was-
Signage there. and
Okay.
signage on,
Drug center and speed
Yes,
limit.
right there by the paper mill, old paper mill, that's one.
Yep.
I was gonna talk to him after the meeting. I got
Okay.
a couple things.
Thank you.
On that flap grant, it is, certain things included, because one, Scott, we had talked about, well, not really formally talked about it, but we had made a mention of it after we figured out that Emma Mound was ours. I think we talked about maybe doing a flap grant,
Yeah, so.
applying some for funds for, the Emma Mound Road. Well, we've been in the middle of which it was belong to the trade or us, and, so I think we had to give it, well, I won't, Scott will have to give it, Judge Brown, is that correct?
No, it's his dad.
Oh, his dad.
Walter Brown. A little history, I'm sure Angela remembers and probably Ricky. We have in the past applied for a flat grant for Emerald Mound Road, trying to connect it as one of the last pieces of that Natchez Trace is what we've been doing. Walter Brown in the past had come before the board and asked him to do it. It was, because this board always defers to the supervisor, and I don't know if it was such a priority for that particular supervisor or not, but there is a grant application, flap application for Emerald Mound, and that road is in really, really rough shape, as y'all are probably aware. A lot of it having to do with some miscommunication about what the county could and couldn't do on the road, which I think is cleared up now. But the other is, of course, funding and so forth. So I did tell that to Supervisor Gaines that in the past we had made applications for that road, and so it'll probably be a natural fit, or an easy fit if we wanted to make another application for it.
Yes.
That's good. We could do that.
Yeah,
We need a
sure.
motion to make an application.
You probably don't need it because I don't know when the time frame and all that is, and I know the board needs to reassess what its legislative agenda is going to be, what are we going to be lobbying for and so forth.
Yeah.
And but that's something that when it comes up, we need to be aware of. And
Okay.
I think if you don't push it, because it's such a competitive process, then it certainly won't never get funded. So if we do, it would be something we do the full court press like we do on a lot of the other projects that we're doing.
And so it's, where the flap grant is concerned, where it comes in at, is because it's dealing with the trace, right? That's why I want to clearly understand, because I know, which we all have some stuff, like tape and we all got roads. I just want to make sure we stay in our scope, but I just wanted to make sure we had an opportunity to get funding to get it here. I don't want to miss any opportunity to get funding for some of the things that we can get done, especially our overlaying of our roads. And we do have a bunch of them in bad shape. I mean, we can name a pile of them in my district, Tate, and I mean, just all kind of, but I want to make sure that that funding opportunity is not passed up, basically.
Yeah, it's a much needed, I'm not saying that prioritize anyone else's road, but that's a bad shape.
All right. You have anything else?
I don't have anything else.
Okay.
Appreciate
All right, I thought I saw Mr. Brent come in.
Brent.
Okay, let's get Mr. Darrell Smith, the fire coordinator. You've been sitting behind that door, I don't even know you be back there sometime.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Just have one thing, travel request to the area fire coordinator meeting Wednesday in Davis County.
You heard the request.
So moved.
Got a motion by Supervisor Gray, second by Supervisor Gaines. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The ayes have it, motion carried. Okay, thank you. Mr. Brandt, is he out there?
Does he need to be tested when he comes back? Do we need to remind him that?
No, because she hadn't got that approved yet. I asked Brad, was she gonna, was Raven gonna bring that to have that approval when, they attend conference, that they have to be tested when they come back.
Yeah,
I thought they already put that in bed.
Yeah, I finished it up Friday, looked at it, she didn't send it to you guys?
She sent it, but she said she was gonna bring it back for approval. I don't think she got it approved, she just sent it.
Have y'all received it yet?
We did receive it. We received the policy.
Okay.
We got an email that she put it in there one time, I think she had.
So she just need to get it
approved, because I asked her to be here to get it approved, and she said she would be this morning.
But I know, we did look over and did the final changes to submit to you guys, but I don't know if she waiting on me to do it or what, I don't know. I don't know if y'all had already received it.
I know, we had discussed it, so.
Will you check? Will you check with her and then maybe we can approve it before we get out of here?
Right.
Thank you.
Okay. I mean, Mr. Brent, the
Yes.
joint council session.
He said Corbett said she got in contact with him. He's coming.
I guess for right now, the contractor's working on Main Street. They're waiting on me for some calculations on surface there, and then we'll go forward with that, and they're close to completing it. They did go to Brookview there and do the work that we talked about in the last meeting. On there, they went to Scotland and have completed the work that they needed to do at Scotland. And for the group one, we are, I think I've got to get them some surfaces and a notice to proceed on that.
Have you looked at those, Robbie, to see
Yeah,
if
we're
it's
waiting on,
completed?
I've looked at Scotland. I went out to Scotland today. They worked, the lady asked me would I come out. I went out today. The guys were working. I did show them up out there. They did get the dirt, sheet grade, got it going, and I've been by Brookview too, where they filled those 2 holes in. I did go by there. On 140 East Franklin Street, which is my office. They are pulled off it right now. Gone to other projects, like I said, Brent, they were waiting on him to get some stuff on. Shouldn't be long, they'll get started back this week.
That's yes.
On that one. Group 1 EWPs, we do need to go ahead and get started. The contractor is here. I'd like to ask him a question. Do y'all have that box ordered? Will it be here time? Y'all get ready to start now since it's...
Go ahead,
Depends on when we get the surfaces from Brant. But
Okay.
we had an email sent back from Brant, what was that date, the 8th or the 9th? So it's in there, it's been submitted for a little over a week, so, but we're still in a 34-week lead time on the box. But we're already over a week into the process.
So if we get that this week, though, the notice proceed, say it again?
That's Johnson Circle.
That's Johnson Circle.
The box haven't been ordered?
Yes, sir.
For about a week and a half now is what they're waiting on. He says about a 3-week lead time, so we're
Yes.
looking at another week and a half, 2 weeks before it gets here, but we're waiting on a notice to proceed from JKS to them on that group 1 site.
Well, let me ask you a question. When you say you're waiting on a notice to proceed, what do you mean?
Piece of paper, it says.
Piece of
notice to
paper,
proceed.
telling them when they proceed, when they start.
Well, you make it sound like it's so simple, then why they ain't got it?
That's what, I'm not making on you, I'm saying that's what it is. It's not-
Why we can't get it?
We need control at the job.
I understand what you're saying, but why y'all can't get what y'all need?
I would give them a surface and a notice to proceed at the same time on that. It's
That will
a
be
drawing
this
that they can program in their machines to automatically cut or grade the surface.
So do we have a time limit where when we gonna start on Johnson Circle, man? Because if we get the rain.
That's the reason I was
that we
asking
supposed to be
these
getting-
questions. That's the reason I was asking these questions. If it's gonna be this week, then they need to start on Cemetery Road, but if it's next week, the box maybe will be here by then. That's
No
when
matter
it'll
if we're
start.
working on
Either way,
Cemetery
you know,
Road or
it's
Pineview, as soon as we get the box, we're
Y'all
gonna
gonna
move
get right.
another crew or whatever it takes to start on that site
But they
immediately.
need to notice to proceed so they can get started on one and
Correct.
it's not,
Yes.
it's the group of projects gets the
Correct.
notice to proceed.
Yes.
The time frame starts ticking of when they gotta start doing it, but it doesn't start ticking until the notice to proceed is done. And I wasn't looking on you, Ricky, it's just a piece of paper that says hereby proceed.
Right. Contract starts now, get going.
And so when's the notice to proceed gonna be issued
I'll get them the surfaces and I can do that by Wednesday.
What's that?
Wednesday,
Wednesday, you'll get an estimate sheet.
yes.
That'll start the time frame. It doesn't matter what they're waiting on, the time clock is ticking.
Supervisor Gaines.
Brent, is All Metal Road project in that?
No, this is the third one. We're trying to work the right way up to get to Scott. And when I send those to Scott, I can advertise them.
Well, would you please give Reverend Scott a call?
Yes, I've missed, he's coming
you
by the
missed it.
office and I've missed him. We just been.
He said you missed, and like I say, I tell him all the time, I come, anytime a constituent brings something to me, I bring it to the board all the time. And I make sure it's there, and I've talked to him, and I just wanna make sure that, and I told him I'd get him in touch with the contractor and let him know, because once we turn everything over, just like the project is turned over to the engineering company. Okay, it's in the engineering company hand to bid it out, take bids and stuff like that. So I think, if you would give him a call for me and let him know what stage he's in.
Yeah, we've been talking here, I mean, at least once a week.
Yeah.
Everything, and we just hadn't coordinated him coming by, and what he wants to do is look at the design.
Well, I just know he called me on that Thursday last week, and he was asking me any more information, and you know, I think about the last couple of times, you know, they was gonna talk. I mean, I gave you the phone numbers and gave you the phone numbers, stuff like that. So I just wanna make sure if we can sometime, as soon as possible, just make contact with him so y'all can be on the same, so all of us can get on the same page.
Madam President, at good, if you have a good communication with the applicants on this, it's a good thing to also tell them to start talking to their neighbors, start telling them about the project and so forth, so they're aware of it, and getting phone numbers and contacts for them. That's something you can tell the Reverend Scott as well. Hey, you know, we're probably going to be needing permission not just from you, but from other people. So if you have the phone numbers or whatever, have the neighbor ask them and talk to them about it, and then when we come in to talk to them, it's not like we're starting fresh on it.
Yeah, both of them act like it is already together on. But
and not just this, I'm just talking about on anytime they got names, and that way they're all comfortable with it. Because you know, people don't trust a lawyer showing up saying, "Here, sign this document."
All right. While I had the floor, I had a call on Saturday that I went out to State Park Road, the driveway where they can get in and out, and actually it rained, and it was when it rained they can't get out. It's strictly dirt. There, and I don't know, and that's why I told them I would bring it to the meeting on Monday so we can all get together with the road manager, Lord, or whoever we need, the contractor out there, and make sure that we get on one accord. And just like the rain coming, I was in a four-wheel drive truck, no doubt. If it rains, they can't get out. You know, they can't get out. And I think we need to actually talk. And I think we all need to have a conversation with the contractor also, because
Your contractor too follows them. That's who needs to take care of those drives. He's the one that got them all tore out, got it muddied up. And it's been brought to his attention in the past about putting some gravel and stuff on it. Brent, am I correct?
This has been an issue for the last 2 or 3 weeks there. The contractor.
And so we need to get it corrected, because, you know, one of the things that we do, and I know people, and don't get me wrong, I have a hard time, you know, sometimes, you know, it's what you do, sometimes what you do ain't enough. If you do something, it still ain't no good. If you don't do nothing, it's not any good. Either way it goes, you're fighting a losing battle a lot of times, but you still have to stay in respect. You should never tell people, well, you don't like to go get a hotel. You know, that kind of thing that we shouldn't do that, so we have to address that. And
he is trying to address that right now. I don't know the actual details, but I know that it was discussed and has been discussed, and they're trying to address that.
Well,
get the people in and out of there and do that. So.
All right. So who do we need to go from here? Can the supervisor go, or the road manager?
I spoke with him. I will speak with him today.
Okay, we just need to address, because we looking at rain, and I'm talking about not just a small, not just a few feet of mud. I'm talking about, you know, maybe almost 100 yards of mud, and going up driveways, and most of them in little cars. And if it flood rain like we do, there's no possible way that those folks can get out.
What were the plans specified for? What was this supposed to be? Do we know?
Well, I mean, they'll have to tear the road out and rebuild it there, but, I mean, at this point, they pull the asphalt out, and we're trying to get it back up, and they're working on selling it right now and getting it out. We'll talk to them, we'll meet with them and talk to them.
Okay, we just need access.
It is gonna be tough for those people for the next year. Once it's done, it's gonna be one of the finest roads in the county.
And I understand, like I say, I got.
I'm not trying to.
No, I understand it's fine for them, but this is my thing, with it. They need access. I mean, you still have some older people there. I'm saying if, hope don't nothing happen, but if something happen, they can't get in or out. If they need emergency, a fire, even a sheriff, ambulance, they could, if it rains, there's no possible way you can get in there to them. Probably if you're in a four-wheel drive, it's strictly dirt. And I mean, so we just want to make sure that they have access in and out. And I know, and that's what I try to explain. I say, you know, it was a bad road. We understand it's going to be state-of-the-art road when we finish, but they still shouldn't be denied access to and from, and all of them work.
Right.
That's a dangerous
Yes, they've got to
situation.
maintain to get the people in and out that are there.
Okay. You have anything else, Supervisor Gaines?
That's all I have.
Okay. Go ahead, Robbie.
Group 2 EWPs, where we at?
Talking to Norman about the cost on those. We were $950, the DSRs were about $590, I believe. And trying to get a cost increase, talk to him about a cost increase and come back with y'all and talk to y'all about that.
Which one is
The second
Group
group,
2.
Which one is the second group?
84,
Cemetery
3,
10 and 12,
cemetery, yeah.
and Churchill Road.
Yeah, it's 4.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. 4.
Cemetery.
Yeah, the 284s and the 2 cemeteries and Churchill Road.
Okay.
Okay, and then y'all working on group 3.
Group 3,
And then group
the right of
4.
way, he's working on the right of way, and when I can send that to Scott, we'll go ahead and advertise those, and I'm hoping that's any day now.
Okay, and then group 4, the board is elected to take those and give to IMF. So has.
Which one is group 4?
That's the last one, that I don't know which ones they are, and that's what I was gonna say, is IMF got that group of those.
They haven't gotten it yet. I think you need to make sure IMS get that group.
Okay.
So who has the paperwork, like the application and whatnot? Would you have that, Robbie, in your office?
I'm gonna have to put, Brent, you.
I'll get with you, Robbie, and
Yeah.
we'll go through there and get with that.
What the timeline is? What the timeline for all these projects? This is one work.
I think in
December,
December,
we asked it a 120-day extension.
I have to go back and check the exact dates.
Yeah.
Okay, and how many projects we got left? We gotta get done by December.
Not yet.
Let's see, 3.
I need to know which one is it being for. Is it Liberty Road? Old Meadow Road?
Oh,
Meadow.
Meadow 3, just said, he's fixing to pull them.
Got lines down, Liberty Road, Whitman, Wisteria, and Prince.
You said names down?
Yes.
And what else?
That's
Liberty
fine.
Road, Whitman, Wisteria, and Prince.
So that's group 4.
Yes.
Okay, that's 5 there. So how many other projects in group 2 and 3, is group 2 been bidded out?
Yes.
Yeah.
Started work?
No, not yet.
Okay, how many projects in group 2 that hadn't started work?
5.
5. How many projects in group 3 that hadn't started work?
There's 4 in group 3.
Has 3 been bid?
So that's 14 projects, and we have till December to get them done, right? Am I correct? We did. It's supposed to been done August 8th. We asked for a 120-day extension on those. Is it gonna be possible that we gonna get those 14 projects done by December?
See, that's why we wanted to take group 4 and turn it over to IMS so they can get started with the projects, bidding and whatever they need to do. But we hadn't got a motion on it yet. We'll need to make a motion in order to give it to them.
Whatever we do, I just want to be legal and Scott. I know sometimes. What would be your opinion on that? What would be the facts on? Not your opinion. What would be the facts on it? Group 3 hadn't been bid. Group 4 hadn't even been bid yet. So you got 3 and 4 hadn't been bid, and group 2 has been bid and haven't been started. So I mean, I know we turn them over. So Scott, what would actually be the process if we need to do the last group or turn some of them over to the other? And then what would be the legal process?
Well, we're legally getting Robbie to get the file or whatever over to IMS to get them started. I mean, we gave them a timeline to do the stuff and it hasn't been met,
So have we even talked to IMS about this?
We've not, that I know of, but, you know.
When they were in the meeting, we discussed it last meeting.
We discussed it
That's
last
what I say,
meeting.
it hadn't went anywhere, so that's
Yeah.
the reason I just brought it up. I mean,
Yeah.
I was just sitting here too, just wondering.
Yeah, you remember we discussed it
I
last
remember,
meeting?
but-
Yeah,
Brian, how many are in 3?
but we didn't get a motion on it.
4.
And how many are in 4?
5. And it's 5 and 2.
So you're looking at 14.
We got 14
projects.
projects.
And then September 1, we're gonna start on those 3 sites on MLK.
September 1. 3 sites on
And they will be
that.
done.
Okay. They coming in the rain.
As the emergencies. Those 3, they will be done, and, you know.
So we got to make a motion on turning group 4 over to IMS.
So moved.
Got a motion by Supervisor Gray that we're turning group 4 over to IMS. Can I get a second?
Second.
Got a second by Supervisor Gaines. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed nay. The ayes have it, motion carried.
Can we get a group, a list of those? Well, Robbie, you gonna do that?
Land, now, equipment, Liberty Road, West Area, what was the other one?
Equipment.
I got equipment.
Prince.
Land,
Land
down.
down.
Prince.
Rest of this.
And who gonna be responsible for making sure they get the necessary
Yeah.
information that they need to deal with these, projects that we turning over to them?
Has any work been done on Group 4? Survey and that nature.
Yeah, we're surveyed.
If I can get that, that will help out with the process. If not, we got to resurvey all over.
Is that possible, Brent, that he can get the
We'll
survey?
go back and look and see what all we have and, which, cause I know, Quitman Road is worse than it was, and I didn't know if we were gonna go back there or have to go back or not.
Supervisor Gray is Quitman, excuse me, Supervisor Gray, Quitman Road, is this not the road that was done before, is it? Is that the EWP
Yeah,
that was done
That's the
before?
one that was done, that they resubmitted today, we done the final.
Uh-huh.
And they resubmitted it for $27,000 because it had little washers on the side. It's all the way at the top now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So it needs complete redo.
Okay.
So possible, excuse me, Madam President. So, so possibly, when can you get started? When can y'all get started? Because we got a December deadline and we also coming in the rainy season. So what's gonna be, what you need to get started and when can you get started?
I need to ask for a little site for the initial assessment, get the information, any information has already been completed, make sure we don't have to do any additional work. We can get started immediately with this. We need to know what's been done, get all that information so we can do our initial assessment.
So,
What if you had no information whatsoever? How long would you need?
To get started, or
To get started.
I mean, to get started, we get started immediately.
And how long would it take you to do the plans, to have them out to bid, do you think?
I don't know anything about projects yet.
Project, yeah.
I don't know anything about the project.
So-
So I would have to go and look at the site and see what needs to be done, to do my initial assessment.
yeah. But,
I mean, right now, I don't got no now that I got 5 projects, that's all I know.
okay, well, basically, Robbie, when can y'all get
I'll
together?
tell you what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna call Mike Green after the meeting and set up something with me, Mike Green, and IMS on these 5 sites.
Okay.
Put in our
And
sheets.
in the meantime, JKS, if you've done work, you can submit it over to them ASAP, but they're gonna get started. I mean, we can't just, if it's an emergency, we just can't wait until files get turned over or whatever, and then it turns out we don't have what we need. Does that make sense, Brent?
Yeah.
But yeah, if you've got work, hurry up and turn it over so you can get, get it for it, but if not, you won't get paid for it.
We thought about we're paying for the work, right? So we have access to it, right?
That's what, if we don't get it, we don't use it, we're not paying for it, but if we get it and we use it, we'll pay for it. That's fair to me, I mean.
Yeah. Okay. All right, anything else, Robbie?
All I have, like I said, September the 1st, we'll start MFK. Yes, that's all I have on EWP. Mike, y'all have anything y'all want to add to it, the contract?
About how long is it gonna take the NRCS to make their decision or do whatever they gotta do on Group 2?
From the additional 950 to 570, or 590. I don't know.
I'll talk to Norman today, let you know what's going on there.
Okay. What about our pay estimate for Main
Yeah, I need to get with Logan on that.
That's all you got, man.
That's all I've got.
You said that's all you have.
Okay, that's all you have?
That's all
Okay,
you
that's
have.
all Brent has?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, all right. Let me get back to the tax assessor so they can go to their office. Just because I think Peter Dale is online now. Peter Dale, are you here?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
The question was asked to me
You probably have to speak up a little bit so he can hear you.
the question that was asked to me earlier, Ms. King, I'm sorry I misunderstood, but the clerks, they do most of the input into our AS400 as far as the names, the deeds, those things that need to be done. Change forms, all that's done by the clerks.
Okay.
What we're gonna do, we're gonna get Mr. Baldwin online also, while Mr. Dale is there.
Yeah, he's
He should
still
be on
online.
there. He's online. He's online.
Okay, great.
Yes.
Great. Did you want to hear from Mr. Dale first?
Yeah.
Okay, yes, Mr. Dale. Mr. Dale?
Yes, do you have a question? Yes, ma'am.
Okay, yes. The question was, I think they're trying to determine on who puts in the deeds, and has that been started for the year of 2021?
Yes, the board and Mr. Hughes contracted with Tri-State to do the translation of deeds for splits and combines back early this year. I don't remember which month it was, but I think either February, March. And so you contracted with Tri-State, Monica Dennis, to do strictly that task, the translating of the deeds. And they had, I think, a deadline to do before the land roll came out, I believe in June. They provided that information to me at the end of June, and I updated it on the Adams County GeoPortal immediately after that. So Tri-State is the one that, Mr. Hughes is, I think, contracted his assessment and his appraisal with third-party folks, and the translation of those deeds is with Tri-State.
That's who does it. I think Mr. Slover had asked me several times about an update with land parcels, but that came through Tri-State, that specific task. And I've had one update from them that occurred at the end of June.
Is there anything you were doing before that you're not doing now for the tax assessor's office?
No. At one point, I helped them out temporarily for a year when they didn't have, that task was being done in-house at some point, and for a while, and that person left the tax assessor's office with the new administration. They were not doing that. They didn't have anybody. I helped them out temporarily for a year and got them up to current speed, and then that information between the board and Mr. Hughes, they wanted to update the system, which was rightfully so. It was an antiquated system of how they update things. Typically, that doesn't go through the ladies in the assessor's office, so there has multiple people touching the data. So we're trying to streamline it and make that more efficient, and that was decided to be done through Tri-State.
So what do he do that Tri-State don't do?
That they work on specifically the tax parcel layer, translating the deeds into mapping. I have 80 other layers, geographic layers that I edit that goes onto the Adams County GeoPortal. So the land layer was just one of 80 layers. And I'm still involved with that in that they send that information to me, and then I upload it and put it on an online GeoPortal that many people use, local politicians, private landowners, government officials, you name it. I think many of the board members use it. So that website, the GeoPortal, is where it's reflected, where it shows up. But that layer is just one of 80 layers that I edit and match.
Go ahead, Supervisor Gaines.
I got a question. I'm trying to get to the bottom of this. What was your question, Mr. Hughes? You said that the deeds wasn't getting entered, right? You need to enter the deed. My question is, who enters the deed? And because regardless, I mean, we talking about two different things here. Nobody's talking about entering the deed. He said Tri-State entered the deed, so Tri-State's not entering the deed?
Well, the office, my clerks, that's who entered the deeds. I saw information a few minutes ago that the clerks were in most of the deeds for a name change. They normally do that. But we was in a situation where Tri-State was supposed to go to work and start doing this, but we kind of behind the 8 ball. We said we're not going to start till October. As far as Tri-State coming in to do the work that we need done with the deeds. And like I said
What
earlier,
are we paying Tri-State for right now?
address, book deed, pages.
For nothing now, because they don't complete it and
need
give
to
us
be
the
done. The assessor clerks are doing.
Okay, so basically we're not paying Tri-State anything right now.
We're not paying.
Not right now.
Not right now.
Okay, now, a question till I heard, I mean, my question is, Mr. Baldwin online, he heard him, he says it's one of 80 layers, you know, so Mr. Baldwin needs to be, he's saying he was gonna give a price, so they was gonna give a price for what it takes to put the mapping on. So now he said he know how many layers he has 80 more layers, so we actually they need to kind of converse so we can get an accurate price on what's going on. Yes, for what he's doing and what Mr. Baldwin was talking about getting a price on. So I just want to make sure that we all on the same page. I don't want somebody to give us a partial price and then you come back 6 months later, come back a couple months later, and we way out of, whack on what we're paying for. So I think they need to get together so we can get an accurate price to see what's going on.
Yeah. See where we are now is we're looking at Tri-State for budget of October 1. They completed they got us in compliance. So now they're trying to get it for 2021, right?
Correct.
Okay. That's what we're
2022.
2022. Okay, 2022.
That's right.
Okay. That's the
We just completed 2021 with Tri-State, correct?
Right.
So we're looking at 2022.
And we're looking at 2022. Why is that?
Which will reflect all the 21 deeds. The 21 deeds will be the 22 roll next year.
You're right.
Why is that such an urgency if we just did it within this fiscal year? Why? Because we didn't do it last. We signed with Tri-State within this fiscal year for 2021.
Right.
Why wouldn't we sign for Tri-State during the fiscal year 2022 like we did this year? So we don't have 2 years in the same fiscal year.
No. 2020, when we did this, for 2021, was like a back year. It's kind of back. So if you,
We're always behind.
yeah, it's always behind.
Always behind.
So if you do it now for October, it'll be for 2022, but they have already completed 2021, right? Because it's like a back year. It's like a back year. You have to go ahead and put this in the budget for 2022 because 2022 is coming up in December, in January.
And that's what I understood, except Tax Assessor Hughes is asking that it go ahead and hire them now, which would go in this year, not next fiscal year. And so we would need to do a budget amendment to have a second contract within the same fiscal year. That's what's confusing to me.
So what do we have them now to do?
For the fiscal year 21-22. If we had a contract for that fiscal year now, see, we can start pulling the 21 deeds and get a jump start, and this would only help in January, December, January, February when homestead comes to have all those name changes that we can get in there. But the contract is up right now is for the 21-22 fiscal year, and we wouldn't get paid anything until after that October fiscal year started for the work that was completed.
My only concern is want to make sure we not paying for the same thing for two people.
Right.
Peter Dale doing the same thing they doing, and we paying twice for the same thing.
Right.
We can't do that.
Right. And see, go ahead, Mr. Dale.
Yes, ma'am. I'm not doing that task anymore. I did it temporarily for a year, so I haven't been doing that. They send me that data. I upload it to the geo portal, but there is no duplication of that task. I'm not doing that, the translating the deeds with splits and combines. So you're only paying Tri-State, not paying two different parties.
Okay, so you're saying we're only paying you now to upload it to the portal?
Well, no, much more than that. It's hosted on the portal, but there are 80 other layers that I manage, from political layers to aerial photography. It's just 80 other layers. I mean, I can go over them one by one. I'm sure you don't have time for that, but streets and highways, fire hydrants, fire stations.
Can you send us
location.
Peter, can you send us a memorandum with all the layers that you do?
Sure, be glad to.
And you're saying prior to Tri-State, you were doing it temporarily?
Yes, Michael, I forget what his last name was, but he was in-house at the tax assessor's office. For a long time, it was John Cabin who was doing some of that work. Then it was Michael, again, I forget his last name, that worked in-house at the assessor's office, and then they didn't have anybody. And Mr. Hughes asked if I could help. I didn't charge any extra money or anything else. I just was providing a stopgap service. I completed that, and it was updated when I finished it for that particular fiscal year. And then they found Tri-State to do that on an ongoing basis. But the process was old and antiquated. It needed updating, and it should not have been the ladies in the office doing that translation of the deeds. And so it was an appropriate move, I think, for them to go with Tri-State. Either you have somebody in-house like they had before, or you had somebody like Tri-State, but it's for the specific purpose of translating the deeds to map.
Madam President,
the thing I think is getting confusing, we're trying to put the geo portal or the GIS part along with the mapping, and it's two complete separate transactions or two separate things. The mapping maintenance that's done, you know, is the worker that does the works the deed, name changes, the splits, and maps those changes, you know, on the map. Then those layers then are displayed on the geo port.
So who was doing the mapping before Tri-State?
I did it temporarily for a year because they had nobody, and I was asked to help them out, which I did, and I left it in the current. And it was current when I finished doing that. Before that, it was in-house at the assessor's office, and before that, it was Mr. Kevin who was doing it for rental taxes.
Okay. County Administrator Angie King.
Okay, I was just assuming that we had a contractor every month in place of, what's his name, that used to work there?
Michael Pace?
Yeah. So what is it that he does?
Come on, Harry.
Yeah, yes.
Hearing does the actual
Appraisal.
assessments, he did, or appraisals, or whatever, the appraisal.
He just listed value property on the real estate part of it.
But he didn't
On
do
real
the,
property.
didn't do the mapping, you know.
So you're telling me Michael Pace was doing the appraisals and the mapping?
Apparently he was. Right now, we're so far, I don't know what he was doing. He should, for splits and combines, it's catching up on that part of it. It's not even mapped. So that's what we're trying to do. You got a lot of property.
Well, I think it was current as of the end of June, beginning of July, as per Tri-State. They gave me a database, and they had 2 boxes of files, deeds, that they updated, so it should be current as of that time. Until you contract with Tri-State or whoever the board chooses, then, you know, it's not being done from July forward until the decision is made about that.
So we're looking at July, so we're not behind that. We're in July and August. We're in August.
Angie, what are we paying Harry the President?
90 or 100.
Yeah,
Something like that, yes.
yeah, but he was doing appraisal. He wasn't doing mapping.
So, and the contract for Tri-State is what?
44,000.
Exactly.
44
Plus,
Mapping.
there was a hosting fee.
I think there's some one-time fees in that 44, if I'm not mistaken.
It's a 5,000.
What is the one-time fee?
That's the
5,000.
delta.
It's
Delta to
5,000.
The map changing and interfaces. See, otherwise we will be connecting with Chancellor.
Is Brandy online?
She is.
Right. I know what was in there, because we had got it, he had gave it to us. It was a one-time fee of $5,000 in there.
Right.
From Delta.
Right.
Okay, then after that, it was gonna be like $1,200, because they was gonna start charging us $100 a month for maintenance, which they're already doing all the maintenance anyway, but that'll be for that department of another $1,200 for maintenance.
All right, so 44 for the first year, and then after that, it will be what, yearly?
It would be
Well, we try to be
39.
about 44, because we are going to add cadastral mapping in it also. But just to map maintenance by itself is about 38. When you add the two together, that's how we come up with the 44.
39, it's gonna be 39.
Yeah, 39. That's
And
how
then we have,
And then you're gonna have to pay the $1,200, because it's $100 a month maintenance.
Right.
and then what about the money that is appropriated for,
Mr. Dale. See, that's what we're trying to determine.
what is that?
His is 36.
30,000.
36.
30,000,
No, that's his.
3,000 a month, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that ain't 30,000 a month, that's
3,000.
3,000.
3,000.
Oh, I thought you said
36,000.
30,000, 36,198. That's 36,198.
Which is a complete different service, huh?
Yes,
Complete
yes.
different service.
That's to do the quarter, but when you all gonna check and see what it costs for the quarter,
It's $171,000.
The portal,
yeah,
See, that's,
we
that's,
try
that's,
to.
The portal track. Charles, did you hear that question? They want to know what we would be charging for the porter. Am I correct on that?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm charge?
You wouldn't know yet.
I don't know.
I know based on other counties about the same size, just the tax end of it. Now, there's probably 10 or 15 layers on that website that we do for the other counties, which you got your photography, your parcel, we got district lines, we got taxing districts, different layers there. Runs about, just for those layers alone, would run about $4,800 a year for the website.
He wasn't doing nothing. They got so behind. We had to go find somebody else. He
Well, you got one price, it's just that price, roughly anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000. It's gonna be just to host the website. But editing all that data, all those multiple different layers, takes time and energy to keep those current and updated.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Ball, that just for the website, what about for the service?
Well, the maintenance would come into contract that we do, maintenance contract. I think it was like $38,000 for the next year, before between. The addition would be for the hosting the website through the tri-state, which would you would have your tax maps, your aerial photography, your parcel information, all your land roll information on that particular website. And it would not include the other layers that's on Mr. Dale's Geo portal, which he's got a lot of other things on that particular GIS website that we wouldn't have access to.
All right. This is something we're gonna have to take under advisement right now and kind of look at it.
Yeah, break it down and for to get an exact cost, he gave us an estimate cost on what a website and about 15 things to doing with the website, what it'll cost. He said about $3,800 plus about $4,800 for the website. But for to get an accurate price, he need to get, I heard Mr. Dale say do 80 layers. We need a price on what the exact same thing will be, what the 80 layers is instead of 15.
Most of I'm concerned about is the tax assessor's office.
That's what we talking about.
Right.
That's what we talking about. We talking, and that's what we doing, trying to get the price, a total price on the tax assessor.
Tax assessor's office.
And yeah, we're trying to make sure we don't double.
Overlap.
That's all we're trying to do.
But I think if we have a contract or a listing of, we need a listing of pricing for one thing. I'm not really clear myself on what pricing is what.
Yeah.
We can get a list of that in a contract, you know, we can take a look and.
I get a list of everything.
Yeah.
We need to get,
As far as on the office, what the GIS system is doing, I'm not gonna be familiar with that. But what I'm trying to do with the Assessor office and the cadastral map maintenance, the GIS system, how we got to upload it back to the Assessor's office, I can do that.
Yeah, if you could get and maybe what your clerks are doing, what Wayne is doing, what Peggy is doing, besides bugging me and
but
get a list of all of that, maybe we can get cleared up what's going on. And Peter's gonna get us a list of all his layers.
and that's, Mr. Hughes,
Yes.
basically, like I said, we understand we're trying to help the tax assessor office.
Yeah.
All we wanna do is make sure everything's right, we just wanna compare apples to apples.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So just get and that's the only way we gonna do it, because if you don't compare apples to apples and you end up going into something that's going, and it might end up costing you $100,000 more. I'm just an estimate. So let's compare apples to apples and see exactly what the price is gonna be, and that way can't nobody go wrong.
Okay. Yeah, so we're gonna look at this. You know, you get us what the information that is needed, and Mr. Dale will get us the information that he has.
Okay.
Okay?
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And at the end of the day, Madam County Administrator, when they get all the numbers together, my only question is, what is the increase?
Right. Okay. Okay. All right.
All right, thank you.
All right, we'll move
All
on.
right.
Mr. Robert
Charles,
Dawson.
you have to be online.
Y'all been outdated.
Good morning, board.
Good morning.
Afternoon, wherever it is.
We're getting there.
Yeah. All right, had an employee turned his 2 weeks notice in. His last day was last Thursday on the 12th, August the 12th. I'd like to ask the board to replace that employee.
So moved.
Got a motion by Supervisor Middleton, second by Supervisor Wilson. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Great. Supervisor, great.
If Supervisor Gray?
Yeah, maybe I need to pull this.
Hey, because you sound like more like
You
me
sure
all
did.
the
You
time.
sounded like Supervisor Wilson then. All in favor, say aye. All opposed, nay. Ayes have it, motion carried.
CEO truck driver on Liberty Road. And I got, 3 legal dump sites, 2 on Kutsu, and 1 at 8 Fox Glen Circle.
You heard the request of the road manager.
So moved.
Got a
Second.
motion by Supervisor Middleton, second by Supervisor Wilson. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Ayes have it, motion carried. Go ahead, Supervisor Gaines.
Ms. Dollar, what about the last one, you know, one we talked about, our starters that, you know, it's been,
That's Fox, that's 8 Fox Glen Circle.
that's it?
That's it.
Okay.
That's it. Morgantown Road started tomorrow, striping. We've got everything swept, clean, done. State come down this past week, looked at it. Gonna start today, they called Thursday, said it'll be tomorrow. So they stripe Morgantown Road, put the reflectors on the first mile. The leaners and the hangers, I know sign, we touched on a while ago about the Bree doing that behind Susan. We should have a meeting either this afternoon or tomorrow with the contractor, the debris monitor, and I guess Susan would be involved or needs to be involved. And as I said, the way I'm understanding it, once we look at it and get an estimate of what's out there, cost estimate, what leaners and hangers, I think FEMA has to assess it too before we can start. So that should, today, tomorrow, sometime we ought to get kicked off this week on it, but we should get started probably the next week or so.
In the termination time, the completion time by the end of October.
I think it's what the got.
And you don't need me, right? I don't need to be any more of these
You can't, you need
emails.
something else to do.
I really got my plate full, so
You need something else to do, you can be involved. I guess that's all I have. I'm looking on my notes, took care of EWP, and I'll get with IMS after the meeting on the other 3 things I had. Plus, I'll get him more information, I'll get with Mike Green, get with him on EWPs.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Mr. Dollar, just other Interstate Park Road, going out toward 84.
84.
Yeah, it definitely needs, some patching out there on that end.
Anything else?
That's it. Anybody have anything for Robbie?
I got one thing, Grove Acres Road, lady called in frantic. Her dog got run over, people speeding down through there, and I did go down through there, and there's not even a speed limit sign on that road. No children play, anything. Road's what, less than a mile long or so? And they're getting up to 60, 70 miles an hour through there.
As far as children playing, no, we can't put those.
But you can put a speed limit sign up. I don't know what it's supposed to be,
Yeah, I have
35.
to check, see what it is. I'm sure it's gonna be a 25 mile an hour in that area, but I have to get them to check.
Yeah.
See what it's ready for.
It's 25.
Yeah.
There was one down there, so if it's gone, somebody take it.
I figured it was, right?
Robbie, I could give you a couple of roads too that need speed signs on. I think I had talked to you about it, and I need to give you a couple of roads. List of them. Okay. Somebody had requested.
Alright.
Okay, that's all you have?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, share.
I didn't look, it was kind of hidden by the postman's house down there. But it's probably gone, these roads, man, it ain't there no more, it's gone. They be taking the new car strike sometimes. How's the board doing this morning?
All right.
You know what I say? You want to start off? Interesting this morning for me. I only have a few things this morning though. One of them is, Ms. King, I know we emailed you about this, but we sent it over a while ago on April 1st, but it was a pay change for somebody that paid to actually go down. They went from being a road deputy to working in jail, and Ms. Jamie Gales.
I think I have that.
You got it already, so I don't need to go through all that. They need to request that it actually be lowered to that amount.
Yes.
Or do I need to put it across the minutes?
It has to be spread across the minutes.
All right. We need to change her from 1601 to 1260. She's working in jail. Jamie Gales. Good. The other thing is, I do still have 3 spots open, and I do want to fill one with Rodney Moore, who used to work here. He was not terminated. He resigned, but now he's trying to come back. And a starting salary of 1601.
Okay, and I do have the paperwork. Can I get a motion?
So move.
Got a motion by Supervisor Gray,
Second.
second by Supervisor Wilson. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
No.
All opposed, nay. The ayes have it, motion carried. Go ahead, Sheriff.
All right, you already, the jail report was already emailed. I want to thank you all for going ahead and moving forward on those vehicles, because we actually just had another one go down this weekend. One of our other vehicles went down, the compressor went out, the belts broke off, so it needs to be repaired too. Which leads me into the next thing that I'm here to ask for this morning. I'm actually asking for budget amendments this morning for maintenance of vehicles. And I know Ms. King already has his email as well. But one thing that changed on there, instead of 8,000 in maintenance, we're asking for 10,000 in maintenance because the vehicle that just went down. We're asking for an $8,000 change in contractual service, 1,500 in tires and tubes, and at least 10,000 in gas because these counts are depleted.
You heard of it?
It's all vehicle, nothing else.
10,000 in gas, 10,000 in what?
10,000 in gas, 10,000 in vehicles maintenance. We're asking for 8,000 in contractual service and 1,500 in tubes, tires and tubes. Because we still have pending tires that need to be done on the unit as well. So
You heard the request of the sheriff.
it's all vehicle.
Can I get a motion?
What, before I make a motion, County Administrator and Sheriff, what you pay with contractual service?
I would have to ask Charlotte exactly what that is. I'm not sure. We just got the number on here. I do have the number. I can get that to you, but I have to get Charlotte over here to say exactly what that is, because there's multiple things on contractual service. It could be trackers, it could be GPS monitors, it could be several things. It could be the body cam storage. It's multiple things on the contractual service. But to get specific, I will call over here.
Well, my next question is, these line items that you asking for amendment, you budgeted too low or what?
No.
Or you move money from there somewhere else?
No, this is actually amendment, but remember we took some money from gasoline and other things early on because y'all told us to move money until we couldn't move no more and then come back and ask. And so we moved this money from these line items, that's what dropped it. Now we need that money back because we had budgeted for them, but we had to move to cover up stuff.
You want, huh? Ms. King, look at anything?
nothing in the budget.
There's nothing there.
That's what I said, we had to move it early.
Angie had told him so she didn't have to come back for constant budget amendments to use what's in your budget and then come back and ask when you needed it. Which
So
is
is this gonna take you out to the fiscal year, to the end of the year?
I'm hoping so. To be honest, do I feel like that? No, I don't. But remember, I came early on and asked for the big one early on, and this is the results of it. That we didn't get it, so y'all told us to.
I know we have 2 more months
Right.
left, and when I was reading it, and I think you all got it too.
It's
It said,
28,000.
yeah, it was about 27 on there, but it's a little more now since he asked for a little more, and I think repairs, maintenance
Gas
repairs.
and other stuff has went up
Your
since they
food is in the
requested.
negative,
And food is in the negative already.
about 10,000.
We not be on feeding the people that we need to feed.
I don't know, we might.
Usually around the end of the year,
I thought we
amend our
did.
budget to actual.
I think that's what y'all were trying to see, though. Y'all were trying to see what we were gonna actually spend. That's why you asked us to do it that way. To clear that up, but this is it.
But did they just ask for an amendment for food? Okay, and that's in the budget again? I mean, it's in the negative again?
It's in the negative because, we hadn't approved it.
Right.
Okay, we had not approved it yet, okay. And it was what, like, how much? I think it was like 20,000, wasn't it?
It was 10 for food.
You
Thought
sure
it was 20.
I thought it was 20, yeah. You better look at that again. I think it said 20.
You remember?
We had to go to peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
Do I remember? I'll tell you what we're doing right now.
No, I'm saying, do you remember if it was 10 or 20?
I don't remember.
I think it was 20. I saw 20, yeah.
This thing that you see.
Yeah.
I get Charlotte over here, but I do want to I want to tell y'all this. What we're doing with the food is, we're actually, whatever is left over from Ms. Dukes is freezing and actually serving it the next day to utilize to get us through this year. So that's what's going on right now. I'm only asking for emergency stuff. That's why I say everything on the list is farmer. It's car related. And so that's why I'm glad that the 6 are coming. And I'm glad that the enterprise things are coming because that's going to help in the future with maintenance. But with gas going up and everything, I just can't say what's going to happen between now and the end of the year. The vehicle that went down this weekend, we were not expecting it to go down, but what you going to do when the compressor go out? You know?
Y'all ready? Some of
Got a motion by
Second.
Got a motion by Supervisor Gray, second by Supervisor Gaines. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. All opposed, nay. Ayes have it, motion carried. Go ahead, Sheriff.
We do have 2 deputies out right now with COVID. So I am about to move to require my deputies to wear masks again when they at least go into people's houses. And it's because, 1, you just don't know who got it, and 2, we are still responding to people's houses regardless of whether they have COVID or not. So I'm just going to go ahead and let y'all know that when they go into people's houses, I'm going to require them to mask up at this point because we're already short-staffed and I can't really afford to lose anybody else because of COVID. You know, right now we're about 12 people short that's not working. So the ones that are working are getting work extremely hard. So just want to let y'all know that it's
Are most of your deputies vaccinated?
I would say, what, half, maybe half of them are. And we are strongly encouraging the other half, but I just can't make them. And I've had that powwow for the last couple of months now, because at first, even I was reluctant, but I went on and did it. I'm glad I did. And now the ones that's not, I'm surprised they're not over complaining to y'all about me being on them about getting vaccinated.
They get the same response from us.
Yeah.
So now that they out, they got to use their own personal
Their
leave.
own time.
Yeah.
They're on their own time, yeah, they're on their own time. And we keep reiterating the fact that, you know, there's no more COVID time. This is your personal time now, so. The last thing I had, well, the last 2 things I had, as far as the cars go, when I talked to the enterprise guy last time, and this is something for the board to decide whether y'all need to want to do this or not. He told us like, if we get this delivery, it would be like $500 a year. But he said, he recommended us not come and get them ourselves because he said your clock starts on payment the day that they're turned over to us. So he suggested that we have just ship straight to the person who's gonna outfit them and let them, you know, do everything they need to do before they deliver to us. That way, you know, nothing will be coming due for the county. I don't know how that's gonna affect it with down payment, those guys, so I'm just passing that on so y'all can look.
It doesn't matter unless it's now before the end of our fiscal year, it is what it is.
Where would the vehicles be anyway? Where are they coming from?
Some of them gonna come from Nashville and 2 of them gonna come from Mississippi.
Well, you spend $1,000 a vehicle just getting them moved if you went and got them.
$500 a vehicle to get them moved, but I don't know what that'll be and how would that help you out with your clock. And that's what he was saying. We don't have a problem going to get them. We'll load everybody up and something and go.
You got 5 of them coming from Nashville, right? How many coming from Nashville?
I think 5 are coming. I think 5 or maybe 4 or 5 coming from Nashville. I can't remember what I know he had one in Mississippi, but I thought he said he found another one in Mississippi, maybe.
Okay.
But I'm not sure. I had to ask him to confirm that he actually found the other one in Mississippi or not.
Okay.
But y'all let me know what y'all decide on that one, because we don't have a problem with getting it.
At least you're not responsible for it until
Exactly.
And you don't have to pay overtime for people to go get them.
I mean, $2,500 for a hotel room and everything else.
Yeah. He said he was responsible for them until they turn over to us and no clock started until they actually in our hand. That's why he suggested it.
And who's doing the outfit? Is it
Connections.
in Pearl?
Yeah, Pearl now, I believe it is Pearl, yes.
Okay.
The last thing I have is trying to renew our seatbelt and DUI enforcement overtime grant. Doesn't require any matches or anything. It's $49,380.79. So I just need.
A motion.
Yes.
I'll move.
Got a motion by Supervisor Gray, second by Supervisor Wilson. Any discussion?
Catch Scott slower.
We still have it.
Not me.
Not you, though. I do. I have it right here. Madam President signed it.
Assume it's not me when you see that.
Okay. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed nay. The ayes have it, motion carried.
Thank you. That's all I have.
That's all you have?
Something for me.
Okay. that's all.
Sheriff, were you laughing at my beater truck a while ago when I pulled up?
Man, I was smiling because I got one just like it. Dude, mine's great.
Coming to the table, Supervisor Gray.
Yes, ma'am, Madam President,
Brad got something.
I think,
You got something else?
once we,
Go ahead, then I'll catch you after. Go ahead, Supervisor Gray.
Sorry.
me,
Yeah, go ahead.
I think once we, I don't even know if we can wait until till they figure out what the COVID money gonna be for, but with all these shootings that we are having in our community, we gonna have to get some cameras. And for the safety of our other people that live here, because we got too many unnecessary shooting, and they gonna shoot in the daytime. They don't even care, they just shoot. So to keep our people safe, somebody needs to figure out how much it's gonna cost to put cameras in a lot of these areas, and we need to do it immediately. Next, Scott, do you have a murder drive deal with the grass?
I got it.
Well, add 101 West Wilderness Road to it too.
101, I'm sorry?
101 West Wilderness Road.
Okay. Yeah, you're gonna see about 3 of them coming up next week.
And we gonna deal with the reparation agreement next meeting, I guess. So I know we congratulated this guy, but I'm gonna congratulate him again. It's Noah Harris. He is the president of the Harvard. Let me get that right, not Howard, Harvard Student Council, and his parents is from Natchez. They went to North Natchez. Last on the list, obituaries. Man, my sympathy goes out to, I don't even know who the little baby was, but whoever was for, man, that just was ridiculous. And I ain't never seen nothing like that, somebody to do something like that. And to the Hammond family for the killing we had over the last week. Phipps family, the Hall family, the Adams family, the Morgan family, the Sherman family, the Knight family was the young lady, I think, hit the 18-wheeler on her way home from Wisconsin or somewhere. The Davis family, the Hopper family, the Lucas family, and to the two sheriffs that died in Mississippi, I think it was Fluco and Vance, to their family, and the young 8th grader, Michaela Robinson, that died of COVID. That concludes my report.
Okay. I'm gonna deviate from the table, go back to Mr. Bradford, Emergency Management.
Yeah, I did speak to the nurse practitioner. She wanted me to go ahead and ask the board that we go and adopt that new code policy, that it be addended to our regular county handbook, that every employee signs.
Okay, you heard the request from the nurse practitioner. Can I get a motion? Got a motion by Supervisor Gray. Can I get a second? Second by Supervisor Middleton. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, nay. The ayes have it, motion carried. That's it? Okay. Supervisor Middleton?
Handled two things earlier. Next thing I had was just an update on Robbins Lake right away. Is that still?
I'm working on it. That's on me.
Okay. I just want to make everyone, I hope the press makes it clear as to this mask requirement so that there's not mixed signals amongst the community. And, you know, again, I just want to reiterate that the most important thing you can do is talk to your doctor and make a decision that's right for you. The vaccine is working. I heard from a doctor the other day, and he put it pretty simple. And it said, the vaccine will not kill you, but COVID can. So I just want everyone to talk to your doctor, do what you think's right, and let's get back to where we need to be. We have discussed in the past a bond wish list kind of, and what each supervisor wanted to put into that bond. I would like for everybody to try to get that together before the next meeting so we can start the process of moving this forward.
Okay, that's all you have?
Yeah, that's all I got.
Okay, thank you. Supervisor Wilson?
Mr. Slover, what are we doing about the issue out there for the trash at the trailer park?
Yeah, so we've talked to MDQ. They've got a they can enforce those regulations, and I'm gonna try to get them out there to.
Y'all gonna send a copy of those to, and so he'll know
I'll send them
what
to
he's
him,
doing
but I'd
wrong?
rather have MDQ come and start writing citations, because we've talked to him and I already asked him nicely. Now it's time to put the pressure on
I don't
him.
think the sheriff was here last time. The guy at the trailer park's hauling that trash again. He says he's easing it down Kingston Road and coming across at Sibley and going down the highway. I'm not sure he's doing that. I mean, the highway's littered badly right now. But he's still trying to haul his own garbage on a flatbed trailer. Plantation, yes, sir.
Okay.
So if y'all see him, he needs to be cited. But until we get this deal worked out, figure out how he's gonna do this, because what he's doing is illegal anyway. He's got leach agent. It's a nice way of putting garbage juice all over the highways, and you just can't do it. He lost 3 bags between the store and where he was parking the trailer in the trailer park. Fell off the trailer. So
He's trying to avoid using the dumpster.
yes, sir. It's too expensive. Too expensive. But okay, and I'm just gonna. I said this a little earlier about this actually came from Dr. Dobbs. 7,700 deaths in Mississippi from COVID, 0 from the vaccine. So I know when it first started, a lot of people, everybody had a story about somebody who got the vaccine, but most of them were very inaccurate, and certainly any death counts were. So please get vaccinated. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Let me go back to
Yeah,
Supervisor Miller.
real quick, since we did appoint IMS on that flap grant for Burke Road, I would like to try to set up that kickoff meeting pretty quick. And I would think that, of course, Mr. Dollar, Mr. Ford, Attorney Slover, do you want to be there? Who do you think, Robbie? LPA, who has that designation?
Mr. Scott, Liam, and,
Well, Ricky, Angie, Robbie, and Meg went to the training.
So let Ricky do
okay.
it.
Ricky?
Ricky.
Ricky can't
Thank you,
do it,
Ricky.
unfortunately.
All right,
You said
Ricky.
he can't.
Hey, you gotta do that
He
letter
can't?
too, Wes.
Why?
Because he's a
Who's the
supervisor.
Oh,
You got that?
he said Ricky cannot,
Because he said he can't.
What, me?
yeah,
Can't what?
be there because he was supervisor.
Oh, he can be there. I thought you said. do
No,
like
I'm
the
just talking about
application
being at
part.
the kickoff
Oh,
meeting.
okay,
I'm
yeah.
just talking about being at the
Yeah,
kickoff
yeah.
meeting.
He can absolutely be at the meeting.
I will be there, so won't know.
Ricky, because Ricky went to that training.
You have that that kickoff meeting for the flap grant.
When is it?
I hadn't said it yet. I just need to see who all was gonna be there. That's all I had.
Yeah, okay. Supervisor Gaines.
Well, I'd just like to touch on that. We can put our list together, because I think we got a few things, but let's not forget when we, I reiterate that again, our main purpose that we talked about originally doing a bond issue was to get Morgantown Road done. And I want to make sure we do have our wish list, but don't push our wish list in the front of that, because we count on some money and it looks good, but let's not push what we're doing in the front of the main priority that we originally did, is getting Morgantown Road done.
The bond,
Says both of them.
no. The bond, what Scott got the paperwork done on was to service the debt on the recreation bond based on the money that we already had budgeted in the interlocal agreement for recreation. So if we're gonna do one for Morgantown Road, it'd just be in addition to, you see what I'm saying? This money was already budgeted yearly. What was it, Scott? 400?
370 something.
334,000.
Yeah.
This is scheduled on a $300,000 basis that money was supposed to be programmed from the 334 that we were paying for maintenance to the Recreation Commission. We were paying 434 altogether. 100 still would stay.
That's it.
But, and I don't want, because look, bond money, y'all got wide discretion on how you use this bond money, okay? So I want to be clear, the board has flexibility to use it for Morgantown Road, has the flexibility to do it for rec, they have that flexibility. If it's not used for Morgantown Road, there's gonna be a bond issue for Morgantown Road as well as other road projects, more than likely. So, so in my mind, either you're gonna have two bond issues or you put it into one. And that's within the discretion of the board how you do it. So
I'm not
trying to confuse anything. I want,
I'm all alone getting it done, but they're separate.
Yeah, and I wasn't just picking at you were saying, and I brought it up before, because that's one of the things we talked about. And while we on Morgantown Road, I know a lot of citizens looking, and I don't want citizens to get upset. Yes, Morgantown Road is going to get striped, starting getting striping on tomorrow, but that's not a quick fix, and people think that, okay, well, they just striping it and the road is not going to be paved. We do have a lot of areas that, and when it rains, people can't see, you can't see the edges of the road, can't see the middle of the road. So that is, and actually the state is coming in and doing that for us. The state is gonna do that, so it's actually not the county. We appreciate that, so I don't want people to get upset and panic and say, oh, well, they're giving us a quick fix, because that's not the deal. And also, my heart goes out to the Hammond family, and also, lost their lives. We are having a lot of crime rate is going back up, and it's sporadic. And you know, I know the sheriff and the police do all they can do, but you know, it's hard to deal with sporadic acts like that because you never know when, never know where. So as a community, you know, and I said before, when one person get murdered, it's not one area, the other area, it actually reflects against Adams County when it comes to trying to help us grow. So I'm like Supervisor Gray, whatever we could do, get with the sheriff and a lot of those areas and see what we need to do to get the footwork done to help solve some of these crimes. I understand that you have a large problem with the state crime lab that's severely backed up, and you cannot get the proper records so they can properly do their job. But you know, it's just, you know, it's one of those things. So you know, I just, you know, I just can't imagine losing those family to death like that, which have happened and will happen. So, you know, my heart just goes out to them. But Scott, I have a 104 Southmore Drive. We might need to get in contact with. I actually have a couple of them, but I have contacted the landowners about cleaning up. So if they don't have them cleaned up by next meeting, I would actually bring them back to you. 104 Southmore. We might need to get them a letter about cleaning up.
104, what was that?
Southmore, the one we looked at.
Okay.
A couple of weeks ago. And,
just text me and let me know.
Yeah. You remember that meeting you were right? We took the pictures of it?
I think so.
Yeah, but that's what it is. But, anyway, other than that, I yield the floor, Madam President.
Okay, thank you, Supervisor James. Chapter Clerk Brandon Lewis.
Hi, yes, Madam President, I have a couple of items. The first is the July tax redemption settlement from the Chancery Clerk's office, and I would ask that to be read off the minutes.
You heard the request of the Chancery Clerk. Can I get a, got a motion by Supervisor Gray, second by Supervisor Gaines. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. All opposed nay. The ayes have it, motion carried. Go ahead.
Yes, so now that we have addressed all the objections to the assessments, I would ask that the board please approve and spread across the minutes the second August board order for the Department of Revenue, and we will have that submitted to the state, and I just need to get a motion from the board for that, please.
So moved.
You heard the request of the Chancery Clerk. Got a motion by Supervisor Gray.
Second.
Second by Supervisor Wilson. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed nay. The ayes have it, motion carried. You have anything else?
The last item I have, yes ma'am, we have one more item. The Department of Revenue sent in 6 additional letters to us with regard to homesteads. This was concerning some homesteads that, as I understand, were not filed before the April 1st deadline. I know that the board, it's certainly their prerogative. I know the board has generally followed along with the Department of Revenue's recommendations. And just wanted to ask the board if that's what they wanted to do with these, and if so, we just need to get a motion to follow along with the Department of Revenue's recommendations.
You heard the request of the Chancery Clerk. Got a motion by Supervisor Middleton, second by Supervisor Gray. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. All opposed nay. The ayes have it, motion carried. That's all you have?
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Attorney Scott Sloan.
Okay, so I think we talked about, Paige and I had pulled the minutes on the policies of the handbook that are outside of the handbook. Is that right?
The ones that we've approved, just, you know, updates that we've made.
Right.
So you wanted them to all kind of
Yeah, what I want to do.
as a whole.
Yeah, what I want to do is have the handbook, because, you know, we'll have official policies at the board, and then new policy will be added and so forth. We want to have it kind of consolidated again to one form of a motion. Is that something on the board, y'all need me to send you the addendums and everything? We can do it next meeting or whatever. Yeah. It's supposed to be nothing new. It's already should be on the minutes, but this will just make it actual.
Actually, approve it all.
Easy to do. Our budget is coming up to be finalized and so forth before the end of August. Are there other budgets in particular that this board needs to hear from to go forward? If so, let me know and I'll put together another budget meeting, making sure that Angie's ready for it, of course. Not that I didn't already do that, I just think I'm put that back on me. But if y'all let me know, we can have them call and done that way.
Okay.
And that's my report.
All right, thank you. Deputy Clerk, Ms. Paige Dean.
I need an approval for y'all to authorize that purchase that Wizard did for the courtroom for the judges.
Did we do that? I thought we did a motion.
No, you were just approving Francis, her recommendation that they use them. But y'all need to actually approve that purchase, and you need to request the reimbursement from AOC.
You heard the request of the Deputy Clerk. Can I get a motion? Got a motion by Supervisor Gray, second by Supervisor Gaines. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. All opposed nay. The ayes have it, motion carried. Have anything else?
No, I don't.
All right, County Administrator Angie King.
Yes, I only have one thing. I would like the board's approval to attend the fall educational workshop, and I'm thinking
Okay, I have that here. That's for the entire
Is it
board.
highlighted?
No, it's in
Oxford,
Mississippi.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's Oxford. And it's on October the 19th through the 21st. Okay, can I get a motion?
So moved.
Got a motion by Supervisor Gray. Can I get a second? Second by Supervisor Gaines. All in favor say aye. All opposed nay. The ayes have it, motion carried. Anything else?
Well, that includes the county and.
Yeah, that's county administrator and road.
And the comptroller.
And the comptroller, yeah, the ones that used to go to the conference when I say board. Yeah, that includes all board supervisors, county administrator, road manager, and the comptroller. Okay, anything else? That's all you have? Okay. All right, I have here. From, attack officer, they need attack officer for communications, and that's Mark James at the rate of, this a pay increase. And that's it, it's a hourly rate of $13, annual rate of $27 and $40. I need a motion.
What department that is?
E911.
So moved.
Got a motion by Supervisor Gaines, second by Supervisor Gray. Any discussion?
What kind of rate increase is it?
$13. It didn't say what it's from. It's $1. It's $1. Because they usually get 12, attack officer. All in favor say aye. All opposed nay. The ayes have it, motion carries. And there's also another one from E911 for telecommunication, 2 shift off captain. The hourly rate, $12. This is a pay change from $11. Annual rate, $24,960. Need a motion? Got a motion by Supervisor Gaines, second by Supervisor Wilson. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. All opposed nay. The ayes have it, motion carried. This is a request for travel, and this is from Reverend Lee, the coroner's office, and it's for Demetrius Hayes. This is a mandatory conference. It's going to be on the coast, October the 19th through the 22nd, for Demetrius Hayes, Rosa Newman, and Reverend James Lee. I need a motion.
So moved.
Got a motion by Supervisor Gray, second by Supervisor Gaines. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. All opposed nay. The ayes have the motion carried. I need to get approval for travel for myself, to travel with Chandler to meet with the governor, and this is Thursday, August the 19th and Jackson, and it's gonna be on Velocity.
So moved.
Got a motion by Supervisor Gray, second by Supervisor Gaines. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The ayes have it, motion carried. Alright. I have here, this is with drug court. This is subcontracting agreement. This is for Edmund Jackson at the rate of $25 an hour. It's been signed by Judge Walter Brown, and they just need approval.
Is it just one of them?
Yes.
Not two people?
No, just one, Edmund Jackson. Can I get a motion?
Move.
Got a motion by Supervisor Gaines. Need a second?
Sure, it's grant refundable.
Mm-hmm. It says grant refunded with no additional money for the original amount, originating amount.
Wilson seconded, Madam President.
Okay. Got a second by Supervisor Wilson. All in favor say aye. All opposed, nay. The ayes have it, motion carried. Okay, I need to get approval for the MOU from the MAS. I think we discussed it there, that's on the,
Yeah, I'm sorry we didn't approve it last time.
yeah,
This
because I
is-
brought it up.
It's
yeah.
really not much of a requirement of the county other than setting forward their relationship. They're not giving us legal advice and financial advice. For these workshops that they're having for this, whatever it's called, the American Recovery Act.
American Recovery Act. I need a motion.
So moved.
Got a motion by Supervisor Wilson, second by Supervisor Gaines. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The ayes have it, motion carried. Okay, I also have here too, I think we need to give this to, this is probably gonna be a budget discussion. This is from Judge Sanders, and this is on the proposal for the Public Defender's Office. So that's something that we may have to discuss for budget. And I'm just gonna hand it down to County Administrator Angie King.
Looks like it's not filled. Oh, yeah, it is, I'm sorry. I don't know.
It is.
Can't see.
One bar, my
Like
glasses.
11, 12, 13, I was like, what?
Okay, so that's something that's gonna have to be discussed. You heard me, Supervisor Gray?
Oh, man.
I got a proposal from Judge Sanders, and that's on the Public Defender's Office, so there's something that we may have to discuss for budget. What we're gonna do. Okay? And that's all I have. Well, I have an item to be determined.
Okay, Terrence just texted, say he's on.
Online, he has something?
Yes.
Okay. An item to be determined.
I think we also need to approve the advertisement of the assessments. Is that correct, Brandy? Or did we do that with our other motions? She sent us a text saying we need to do it. Okay, I'll Terrence, she's not.
Okay.
Don't use
Mr.
it.
Terrence, Mr. Terrence Bailey, you have something? Mr.
Yes,
Terrence?
ma'am. Good afternoon, board. I actually have two requests today. Can you all hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So my first request is, I'd like approval for GovEase to run our annual land sale online for us. We've been using them for a while now. I think it's the third year maybe. And I need to get approval to allow them to run the land sale for 2020 tax year.
So moved.
Okay, you heard the request of the tax collector. Got a motion by Supervisor Gray. Can I get a second?
Second.
Second by Supervisor Gaines. Any discussion?
Madam President, the motion will read that we're hiring them to do our tax sales upon the same terms and conditions that we previously used them. Since I don't have a contract with them, it would be on the exact same terms and conditions we've done before.
Okay, thank you. All in favor say aye. All opposed, nay. The ayes have it, motion carried. Anything else, Mr. Bailey?
Yeah, on the second request, I'm sure I'm gonna be sent over a pay change form, but, I have an employee that's been with us now for 2 years, and, I wanted to get approval to move her pay to the rate that the employees that started after her came in making. And so if I need to do that form first, I'll do the form first, but, Shirley Hemorrhage, she did 1065, and then everyone else that came in after her was brought in at 1250, so I wanted to bring her up to the salary of the people that started after her.
Okay, I don't have a pay increase form.
Okay, yeah, I had to send it over. Yeah, I sent it over first, and then, revisit the request.
Is it within your current budget?
Yes, sir, it is.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, do you wanna do it, get my paperwork, motion, or wait till we just get the paperwork?
Right, do paperwork.
Gotta get the paperwork first. Okay, Mr. Bailey, you need to get us the paperwork. So, all right, thank you.
Thank y'all.
All right.
Madam President, Brandy, are you there?
I'm here.
Do we need to make that motion to approve the advertising of the assessment role? Is that what you're?
That's contained within the board order.
Okay.
I didn't know if we needed to get approval to do the advertisement for the budget.
Okay.
Okay, all right, so I got the motion for, determination.
No, make the motion to advertise.
Oh, you do need that?
Let's go ahead
Okay,
and
a
do it.
motion.
Do it.
All
Are we
right,
advertising for the budget you're talking
Yes.
the
about?
budget. Okay, can I get a motion?
So moved.
Got a motion by Supervisor Gray, can I get a second? Second by Supervisor Wilson, any discussion? All in favor say aye. All opposed, nay. The ayes have it, motion carried. You have something,
Yes,
Supervisor
yes, I
Gaines?
did. That's something I did forget that I promised my constituents I would bring up. Is Lachey on? Lachey, Sante?
Mm-hmm, she is.
Yeah. Well, I think, and I know a lot of
She's
it,
not, she
She's
wasn't
not.
there, she's
Oh.
not on there.
but, I'll bring it to the board. I mean, you know, I understand that, I talked to the trash company and they have been shorthanded and stuff like that, but I know I get a lot of, I've had a lot of pressure from, like trash being missed, and, I get a call every week. I get 2 or 3 calls every week. And I think, and I know, so if anybody out there, you know, some CDL drivers of what we need to do, because, you know, we got a lot of folks, probably got a long message on there I can let you hear. Folks say, well, I'm paying for my service and I ain't provided. And, you know, so we just probably try to sit down and see what we can do to try to make sure that those folks, especially those folks, kind of get the services that they need. I mean, it's not everybody, but it is. Those folks is Old Courthouse Road, as a matter of fact. Old Courthouse Road has been skipped. It's like every other week they get skipped out there. So I just told them that I would definitely bring it up. And I just bring it before the board's attention.
The garbage collection?
Yeah. No, not collection. They're not picking up.
Just giving some pickups? Okay,
Yeah,
occasionally
yeah.
that happens, we'll get with Lachey, make sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I just wanted to bring it to them.
And then we'll talk to Metro.
And I told them
That
that's
happens
why.
and they usually get right on.
They usually get right on it, but I told them I'll bring it because it's happened like, he said 2 or 3 times in the last month, so I just wanted to bring it to the attention.
Okay, thank you, Supervisor Gaines.
2, okay. 2 items to be determined.
Yeah, got 2 items to be, got something else?
Yeah, exactly. I just got.
We are recess. This is Sean Mott. I have a question about the department.
Excuse me,
We're not recessing.
hold on, we're not recessing yet, give me a minute.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
Mr.
I
Brown.
like the board, my administrative assistant gonna be out another week. I want to ask Ken, I just get a temp to put in her spot, this week. She still have a COVID, a child.
What do you think?
His administrative assistant is out,
Still out.
he wanted to know if he can get a temp to put in, while she was out. Don't we usually use Christie as a floater?
This new to me, I ain't never heard about no temp before. I don't know how y'all do that over here. So how y'all do that, sir?
It's in the handbook for temps, I believe, but I don't know if we, like you, I'm kind of new about
We
it.
usually get back a long time ago when a person was out, we usually get a temp from temp service. I think it's some across the river, they have a service that we usually get a temp from. They used to provide us a temp. Can't remember that, place across the river. Yeah, it's been a long time. I mean, that's, many years.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I thought we hired, Miss Christie Sewell to be a floater when someone is out. If you wanna.
Yeah, 'cause like I said, my staff, I've been working mine, but, you know, she got to get on her job too.
How much
so.
long she had out? She been out?
She's been out 10 days, but her daughter still testing positive. So, if she been around, so,
Her daughter?
yeah.
So you wanna put,
She ain't come back down
Miss
tomorrow.
Christie Sewell down there? Okay,
Well,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Okay. We get you some on
If
that.
not, like I said, I know my high school worker, if he's available, what we doing summer.
Your what now?
Our summer worker, if he's available, 'cause, you know, he pretty much know the layouts and stuff of ours. If he's available, he was college student, that's something we can do.
But the board would have to approve that.
Well, we got a temp that's float, or we got somebody that can do it anyway.
We got a
We don't-
float.
So we don't have to do anything? Okay.
I use float. Okay. All right, thank you. So it's 2 items to be determined. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Got a motion by,
Can I put in a question, can I ask a question about the mask requirement, John Mott? Can you clarify or specify what the board voted to do about the mask requirement?
I'll give you a call, John Mott, or somebody from the.
Okay,
yeah.
okay, thank you. You have my number, email.
Got a motion by Supervisor Gray. Can I get a second?
Second.
Second by Supervisor Wilson. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. All opposed nay. The ayes have it. Motion carried.